Oh no, hi everybody. Welcome to Nat 20. I am 0sarahXfrank0. I will be your GM this evening as I run this group of amazing human beings through one of the adventures from the Rolled and Told Volume 2. I am excited about it. We're going to be running alone time. It's going to be a good, well, we're going to try to run alone time. Let's put it that way. As mentioned, I am your GM this evening. I'm going to go ahead and pass it to the clockwise side of your screen over to Joe for introductions. Joe, tell the people who you are and who you're playing.
Oh, that was okay. I wasn't expecting that. Hi, I'm Joe, the Nation of Joe. And tonight I will be playing Lucifer, the Fire Genasi Way of the Soul Sun Soul monk. And I guess that moves over then to a saint.
Hi, I'm DMFSaint. I am playing Bob, a Furbolg wizard who isn't really supposed to be here today. Let's pass this over to Ash.
Hi, that's me. I'm Ash. I go by Ash and Rabbit. Twitch and over on Twitter and stuff. I am playing Dust, the Tabaxi Grave Cleric. Yep. I'm gonna pass it over to Ketchy.
Hey everyone, I'm Ketchy. I am gonna play Dave, the Bugbear Fighter. And back to you, Sarah.
Awesome. Without further ado, let's go on an adventure. You guys have arrived at the home of Hilda Twilightforge. She had posted a notice seeking assistance from adventurers, and you've pulled up to her cottage. It is quaint and settled nicely into the side of a hill. She has a beautiful little garden out front. Her flower boxes in the windows are rather lovely. The four of you have arrived together. Tell me, have you guys come together, have you been traveling together long? Did you all see the same notice and kind of arrive separately? What's the vibe here? What kind of party we got?
I feel like Bob... I don't know that anybody would have been with Bob. I don't know that anybody can stand Bob long enough to really travel with him. So I'm probably alone.
Okay. So we'll have... Actually, let's just do this. Bob arrives first.
Maybe not.
What's talk to me?
Bob arrives first. Can you describe what Bob looks like and what their general demeanor is?
Yeah, so Bob is a Furbolg, on the taller side, not necessarily skinny, but on the lighter side of the weight spectrum. Wearing a long, kind of almost like terry cloth, robe that's cinched with a rope in the middle. Definitely hasn't been washed in a while. Ears kind of drooping down a little bit. Face just kind of looks not okay. Yeah, that's Bob.
Great. Bob approaches from one side. Someone approaches. Who is next to arrive?
Dust would probably arrive. She'd probably be by herself. I don't understand this, but I'm gonna go along with it.
Are you making fun of me?
No, I'm just confused. What is this? Are you okay? Do you need help? I help people. Do you need help?
No.
Okay, great, because I'm fucking exhausted. Are you here to do the help thing for Hilda as well? Is that what you're doing here?
Yeah, I guess. If that's how I can get some food and money.
You need food, money. Yeah, employment is often the solution to that, but sometimes not everyone is afforded that opportunity. So I understand. So if you need a hand, I have two. They're kind of paws, but hands, paws, same thing.
So do I.
That you do.
Can you describe Dust for us?
Sure. So Dust is kind of average build for a tabaxi. I think I forgot to mention that when we did our introductions, but hey, she's a tabaxi. She's about 5 feet tall, kind of black fur, but it's kind of gray. Most of the hair is gray, but the fur closest to the skin is black. It's very Dust like, kind of bright green eyes, covered in vestments that are they're like black and white, got a bit of a cloak over it, and then she's just like supporting herself with a quarterstaff, very nonchalant.
Brilliant.
Yes.
So you guys are having a conversation about hands and paws. What do they even mean? Who is the next to arrive?
Dave will stroll up. He's the larger side of the bugbears, quite hefty. He basically just has a loincloth on, no armor. His fur and his hair, fur, whatever you want to call it, actually, is going to be like a sandy brown, kind of dirty looking. And he's gonna like not really pay attention to the two and just kind of head towards the door.
Okay. He's making his way to the door, and Lucifer, you have kind of all coming together are the last to arrive at the door.
Yeah, Lucifer is equally what's the word I'm looking for? Equally noticeable and yet blends in as much as he possibly can, with sort of generic robes and adventuring kind of gear. Looks just like your kind of run-of-the-mill adventure with clothes and all that stuff, but hair is bright red. There's little pieces of accessories all around him that are just lit up in different symbols of fire and light and all that kind of stuff. And so it's kind of hard to miss him, but you wouldn't give a second glance either. But he's gonna kind of walk in and kind of see like a group gathering and kind of settle right next to them, assuming that this might be the party that he was supposed to meet, but he's not going to really say anything. He's just going to kind of sit in back of everybody and just kind of quietly listen and watch.
Awesome. Dave, you are moving to the door. Are you knocking? What's your approach here to this woman's door?
Yeah, they would definitely knock. He'd go up to the door and kind of like look at it. It's
All right.
a normal door, then he's gonna have to step back because he's 8 foot tall. So, and
Really?
then he'll just knock on the door.
You hear some light shuffling from inside and a muffled, "It'll be right there." And the door opens and you see inside is a dwarven woman. She's elderly. She has 2 long braids on the side of her face, the rest of her hair pulled up into a bun up top. She's dressed in some just plain clothes. She has an apron on that she's wiping her hands, and she goes, "Oh, well, you're rather tall. Hello, my name is Hilda. Are you here about my adventuring request? Oh, and it looks like you've brought others. Oh, this is delightful. Please tell me that you're here about my adventure quest posting, please."
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, well, come in, all of you, and I will relay to you the information. I'd appreciate you taking time out of your busy adventuring schedules. She will.
Dave will follow right in, ducking into the doorway.
Can I interest you in some chai tea?
Oh, chai. That would be lovely. Anything to get caffeine in these old veins would be right as rain.
Oh, yes, absolutely. And she will go and kind of begin to get a tea set ready as you get settled.
Can someone tell me what the fuck chai tea is?
It's delicious is what it is. You don't need to question tea, my dude. You just drink it and love it.
You live, laugh, love it, really.
That is the appropriate response.
In that case, none for me.
Oh, bit of a Debbie Downer. Okay. Well, all right. Listen, not really my business. I'm hoping that you all can help me retrieve something very important to me. And she will begin to pour out cups of this tea before taking a seat in a rocking chair nearby. You see, I'm hoping that you can go to the nearby onion caves and retrieve a family heirloom that was left there tragically by my clan when we were driven out by a horrid Eden named One-Armed Thomas. There was a scuffle and we had to abandon it, and I long to view these items that hold such value for my people.
I swear to God, if the heirlooms are celery and carrots, I'm leaving now.
Oh, no, I can grow those myself. I do have some lovely heirloom tomatoes, though, I'll tell you. They do very well every year at the fair, you know. It's rather impressive. No, these are magical items, and they're inscribed with the family crest. And she will pull, actually, from behind her, she's going to pull like an Afghan off the back and hold it out to you. And you see that it's an anvil with 6 stars in an arc above it. And she goes, this is the Twilight Forge crest. There should be a chest inside the onion caves with the items in there. You shouldn't have any troubles. However, if One-Armed Thomas is still there, you'll need to be quick. He comes. You should be fine. Everything should be completely fine. He roams around at night in a neighboring cave. But if you are able to come back before nightfall, you shouldn't have any problems.
All right.
What's the deal with this one-armed Thomas? He's got one arm.
Well, he's an Eton, and he's just, well, quite frankly, rather rude. He drove my people from our caves there, where we lived, and we were unable to reclaim it. As he stalks the grounds.
With one arm.
Seemingly, yes. He's rather big, though. Are you sure I can't interest you in some chai tea?
Bigger than
or maybe an
arm?
Herbal Grey.
No.
I'm sorry. What was the other question?
His arms bigger than my arms?
She will look at you. I believe so, yes. I can provide you with 1 day's rations to get you there and back again. Should you be able to return these, I'll reward you handsomely through other, monetary value.
What does the house look like that we're in? The home?
It's just it's a pleasant little cottage. It's not run down, but it's not overly fancy. It's very well kept. She seems. Go for it.
Helen.
The name is Hilda.
Sure, Helga. I can't help but notice that you said your family lived in caves and now you live in a house.
Well, yes, we had to. Our lives had to change, you see, once we were driven from the homeland.
How long have you lived here?
Oh, it's been some time. It's been a while. One loses track of time.
Like, were you a kid? Were you middle-aged? You seem kind of old now.
Oh, well, that's kind of an offensive thing to say. I
How
don't,
many
do
fairs
not.
have your tomatoes been through?
Yeah, how many heirloom, like how many plantings, how many crops?
Oh, well, I was, younger, when it happened. But I don't really know why the timeline is relevant.
I'm just curious if Thomas was a kid and then grew up, and like
the
big arm is now like a house. Like a
Maybe Thomas
well,
is
as I mentioned before, the etching shouldn't be any issue. So long as you are out of there by nightfall, you should be completely fine. The caves are long abandoned, given that, Tomas has roamed the lands. It should be a quick in and out. I would do it myself, but as you can see, I'm old and frail.
And scared.
And you can hear in the warbling of my voice.
Yeah. I think everybody's missing the real point here. This handsomely that you're talking about. What's this handsomely reward that you're talking about here?
Well, I would pay you money.
I'm a big fan of that. And this chai tea, it's delicious.
All right. Do you have an amount in mind?
Well,
Should we bring back an invoice for hours?
Well, I mean, I'm not sure.
Expenses?
I understand that you probably have contract rates, and I'm happy to discuss. What is your going fee for an overnight adventure?
Well, I'd want to hear what your definition of handsome is first.
Well, no. I mean, if you're a professional, I'm sure you have some sort of fee sheet, some kind of tiered grade.
Well,
is there
you
a
seem to
package?
have-
Can I pay you for 3 adventures and get a discount, perhaps?
Bob leans over real quick in the middle of this to Dust and says, "He's a really good negotiator. You never tell him the price up front. You got to make sure they say the number first." I'm a big
I'll have
fan.
to keep that in mind. That's pretty smart.
So you're telling me you don't have any idea what this handsome amount is? You're just luring people in with a generic amount, and you're expecting us to just take.
I'm sorry. I don't get out much, and I don't know what the going rate is for adventurers, but I promise you that compensation will not be an issue. I mean, the last time I had to hire adventurers was many years ago. I feel like the inflation has had a toll. But I would happy to pay you, 50 gold per person to retrieve this chest for me.
I'm curious to know what you hired adventurers for previously and how successful it was.
Oh, well, that's quite simple. You see, this garden out front, I needed it tilled.
Oh, so you acquired the expertise of adventurers to till a garden. Okay. Honestly, I feel like people would really go for that. They're out there doing fetch quests, not like there's anything wrong with that, since that is our current situation. Or, going out to slay some bad guys or help a fallen kingdom or anything dire like that. Sometimes people just want to be hired to take a chill pill and relax and help build a garden. So kudos to you for providing that.
Oh, certainly. I'm sure that they got that other places. You see, this was just infested with undead.
Oh, I see. Okay. Well. Okay, it all tracks now. Okay,
So
very good. Thank you for the answer.
We're gonna back up for a second here. You went from the cave to the cottage that was infested with undead.
I've lived a long and very interesting life, yes, but I don't know if that's really the point of this. The point is I want my chest.
Decided to settle down. Okay.
Okay. You need everything that's in the chest? The contents of the chest are all of vital importance.
Yes, they're my family's heirlooms, and I require them.
Okay.
What do you need
heirlooming.
them for?
Yeah, so that's a good question. Like, I kind of want to know, like, I feel like we're going to need to open up the chest when we get there, just to make sure all of the contents are inside and secure. Like, I wouldn't want to bring the chest back and you'd be like, "Oh, the stuff we want is not here and you need to go back." I don't want that.
Yeah, I'm with the furry guy. Like, no, none of that.
All right. Well, there should be several items in there. There should be a cloak, There should be a children's toy, perhaps. And there should also be a pot. It's the pots that I'm really interested in.
Not
If I'm
the-
honest.
Not the child's toy. What happened to your child?
Well, it's not my child. I keep my children accounted for. Not a bad mother. How dare you come into my home and insinuate such awful things to me?
You said the children's toy wasn't important.
Well, it's not really. It's a family heirloom, and it isn't important, but not as important as some of the other things. Listen, are you
Is
going
your
to go
children-
find
are
the
you-
chest or not?
Are your
Or should I
children grown?
guess? Well, yes, they are. All 7.
7 of them. So you're saying that 7 children that are fully grown couldn't go on this easy mission to a cave and
Well, no, they're
go
very
get their own
busy.
heirlooms?
They're very busy and they're far flung, and they simply can't be bothered. And I don't understand. Are you complaining that I'm
I've-
trying to give you employ?
Hang on,
You're the strangest group of adventurers I've ever encountered.
I just want to know what we're getting into.
I feel like there's
Oh.
something we're missing and we should be talking about here. You have how many children again? 7?
7.
7 children and
7 dwarves, by the way.
yeah, 7 dwarves, and the
There's
children's
the adopted one, but we don't really talk about her.
the children's toy that is an heirloom is not important. Are you saying like are the children? You said they're adults. Are they not able to have kids? Like, are they all
And that's
shooting
really
blanks?
private, and between
or...
them and their sexual partners,
I get
or
that.
lack thereof.
But the toy should be more important then, because like you're gonna have grandchildren.
I'm sorry. Are you trying to dictate my priorities to me now?
Dustin's
before
gonna
I'm about
step
to pay
between
you?
Hilda and Bob and just say,
I'm just-
"Listen, we're here for the job, Bob, and in the finger. You can stop. We're gonna take the job.
Okay.
It's gonna be
I like-
fine.
Thank you. I
If you could
appreciate that.
just give us a direction to the onion caves, that would be."
I can do
super
you one
dope.
better, Miss Dust. And she will go. She'll stand up from her rocking chair and kind of like take a second to like make sure that her blood pressure equalizes as she then shuffles into the kitchen. You hear some rumblings as she comes out with a burlap sack in one hand and a scroll in the other, and she will walk up to you, Dust, and say, As promised, I've provided some rations to get you to where you need to be. I must stress to you that you should be totally fine, so long as you leave the cave by nightfall, because that is when one-armed Tomas is going to be out and about on his horrible little activities. So here's some food, and here I've also included a map in order to get you there safely, so you won't get lost. So there you are.
That's wonderful. Thank you. Is everyone in agreement that we can head on out to this cave and do this and retrieve those family heirlooms for Hilda and her family?
I would suggest leaving at dawn tomorrow to give you the most
Oh.
time. Just again.
I was
I like
actually
the way
just
you
about
think.
to ask GM what time is it.
Yeah, Hilda will suggest that you wait till the following morning to depart.
Oh, okay, great. Is there
I
a
would
place
offer
in
you-
town that we can
Yeah,
chill?
yes, I would normally, had I not had such a long and arduous conversation with you, offered to let you stay here free, but you were rather odd, and I am afraid that you might. I don't
Hey.
know. I don't like the vibe.
Dave's is gonna look around at the tiny dwarven furniture and kind of be like, eh.
Yeah, something tells me we wouldn't be comfortable with your generous accommodations. But thank you.
I'm sorry. What? And she's gonna like tighten her shawl around as you say the word generous. Yes. Well, goodbye. Go to the tavern. Stay somewhere else. I'll
GM,
pay you when you get back.
As we're leaving, I would like to point at Hildebrand
My name is Hilda.
and cast a message
Okay.
and say, I'm onto your games, you old kook.
Oh, you want into our cribbage group?
Leave.
Great. You make your way into town, where you
Make
find
my way
accommodation.
downtown.
Walking fast. faces past as you're onion cave bound. You're able to stay the night at the tavern.
How far away is the cave?
It's gonna take you a while. Like I would say, like half a day's journey to get there.
Take a while. Sorry.
It's gonna take a while. You go to the tavern. You rest there. The accommodations are pleasant. You are well fed. There is a local bard who is singing clearly their own material. Workshopping is required. You wake up the next morning, set out. Tell me, on your half day's journey to this location, what kinds of things do you guys talk about?
I don't know why we slept. We could have traveled at nighttime and made camp. Have more time in the cave.
Listen, you're going to be thinking you're back later once you realize that you actually just slept on a bed last night versus on the ground. It's a big difference in terms of, being able to be a little bit more limber throughout the day, get some good calisthenics in as we walk towards this cave. I only see the benefit in that.
Yeah, but he's got a point because we're going to get there kind of late, and then we need to kind of haul ass to get, wherever this stuff is and get it out of there before dusk. Like, we should have just went at night, got to the cave when it was day, and then get in and out. We're out by the afternoon.
Well, do you want to head there and chill out the rest of the day, setting up a very extremely relaxing camp to just relax and then wake up at sunrise tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm not in a hurry.
Yeah, we weren't told we had to be back.
There
right
was
away.
no timeline. We can just wait.
I would like to get in and out and get on with my life. I got
What if
I've
we
got some other
travel
contracts
halfway,
in the
take
mix.
a nap, and then travel the other halfway and take another nap?
no, I'm awake now. I can't take naps.
I can help you
Yeah.
with that.
I can.
Wait.
Potions don't do much for me or anything.
Wasn't
It's fine.
talking about a potion.
Now I'm concerned. Now I'm worried that I've roped myself into this with some dastardly fellas here, and I'm just gonna admit that I'm a little afraid. Just admitting that, just throwing it out there.
You don't gotta worry about me. I'm just in this for some quick bucks, quick cash. I'm getting out of here. On to the next thing,
Yeah, where are you going? What's the next thing?
The next thing is I have a contract waiting for me out west in the land of Nunya.
None. I've never heard of that.
Yeah, none of your damn business.
Oh God,
We be off.
fell right into that one.
As you travel, let me establish: are we traveling? Are we taking naps? What's the nap schedule look like? Is it like a 3 hours on, 2 hours off kind of a deal?
Yeah, 20 in, 20 out.
Oh
Yeah.
no, it's
Yeah.
2 hours on, 3 hours off. Still,
Okay, all
that's
right.
way-
Straight up polyphasic sleep. Let's go.
I'm going to assume that you are beginning to journey to where you need to go. And for the sake of, however, I will provide you with the ideal time because I am a kind of benevolent GM. As you travel, it does in fact begin to storm as you are at the foot of the mountains. Snow blows in, and there are heavy winds, but you're able to find, some trees to hide behind. And though it is cold and a bit miserable, you make good time through the difficult terrain, and you reach the onion caves early in the morning, as desired, to give you maximum amount of time. You are now at the base of these mountains. They reach high into the clouds, the tops disappearing unseen to your eyes. And thankfully, the entrance to the onion caves is directly in front of you. The entry is recessed into the mountainside, providing just a little bit of shelter as the wind starts to blow. And you stand, there's a heavy stone door engraved in dwarven runes. What would you guys like to do?
Sweet, we made it.
Really quickly, does any of you guys
Sure.
speak Dwarvish?
No.
Does it share any traits with primordial?
I don't believe that it does. Unless you consider dwarves like some strange kind of earth elemental. But I that's a strong argument to make.
I mean, I got time if you want me to make it.
So no dwarfish in the party, correct?
No.
Okay. You got a big old door. It's got a bunch of dwarven runes on it that you can't read.
Can I push it open?
You want to try and push it open?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna need you and everyone else to make me a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, tight. Here you go. I got a 15. Oh,
Lucifer
Jesus.
got a 20.
First one, 15.
I got a 20.
And I just gotta get my murder rocks.
The murder
one?
click-clacks.
The things that make the pain. Okay, so did anybody roll under a 13?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay. As Dave pushes open the door, the runes on the door erupt with blue light, and there's a loud cracking sound as lightning just erupts from this door, pushing out. You are all able to see as the runes light up and are able to dodge some of it. However, the lightning arcs around the entire area, so you are going to take 12 lightning damage.
From a door? God.
Yep.
Is the door at least open?
The door is open,
Oh.
and there is the remnants of electricity crackling through the air, but you have successfully opened this door.
Hey, big guy. No more fucking doors.
They're open, so I can go in now, right?
No more fucking doors.
Dave, calm down with the doors. That hurt a lot. Is everyone okay? Do we need to chill for a second? I can help if needed.
Ouch.
Yeah,
But-
the ouch is pretty up there. Hang on.
I mean, I'm just a young buck. That was
I'm
not.
gonna use my second wind ability and regain 1d10 plus 5 HP. So
Awesome.
I'm gonna regain 13 of the 12 that I lost.
You're agreeing 12 of the 12 that you lost. Very good.
I tried.
I've sat
Sarah-
at a table with a catchy.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sarah's learning real fast how to GM a catchy. I love it.
If y'all want to chill out for like 10 minutes, I can help you out. That sound good? Take a bit of a breather. We all just got shocked by some fucking
I'm
thunder
fine.
from a door.
We need to move forward, don't we?
The three of us are not doing okay. So if you can just like not push any more trapped magical doors down for like 10 minutes.
No more fucking doors.
No doors. I will remove all doors. Got it. Dave will go into the cave.
All right, Dave,
well.
you entered into the cave, and it branches off into. There's 3 different tunnels. There's one east, one east, one northeast, and one to the west. Which direction would you like to go?
So like I walk into the doors and there's a room and then there's doors.
It's like a small chamber. You got one to the east, so like you're right, one northeast, and then one to the west.
Are there any doors?
There's no doors. They're
Okay,
just
that's
tunnels.
No, after I walk in and see their options, I'm just gonna sit down and wait for everybody else for whenever they're done with whatever they're doing.
Tight. Within that 10-minute time span, I would have cast Prayer of Healing. So everyone's going to get 15 hit points back. Oh, feeling better. Hey, Dave, you feeling okay in there? Do you fall asleep? You taking a
Taking
nap?
a nap like I said I wanted to.
Tight. All right. Hey, I think we're okay now. Maybe.
That's very much appreciated. Thank you.
I will point at Dave.
Got you, bud.
And cast message. No more fucking doors, Dave.
He'll like turn around and look out the door, and then just like look back forward, waiting for everybody else to come.
You've all gathered again. There are 3 exits, or 3 ways to go. You have an east, you have a northeast, and you have a west. Feel free. You can, if you want to investigate or get additional details, just tell me what you want to do, and I can figure out what role would apply.
You know,
Go northeast.
I've always really loved that whenever they build these dungeons and caves and things, they always orient it according to the cardinal directions. It's really like
Convenient.
stellar and convenient design.
I would argue that most construction is similar to that in some regard, at least in the orientation of what they're attempting to build, regardless if it's on it. Never mind.
Yeah,
We're
but
good.
like true north and true east and that's next level. Like you gotta pay for that to get it more than just building it.
Passive perception.
Oh, good God.
17.
14, and wondering why I didn't take
11.
observant.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dust. 17, you said, right?
Mm-hmm.
You would notice from the east, as you guys are standing here having this conversation, there's like a strange smell at first, but the longer you stand there from the east, comes this just awful, like rotting meat smell from the east. Like it whatever's down there does not smell very good. And you as you're sitting there, you know, talking about how welly designed these onion caves are.
I'm sorry, what?
Welly designed?
Welly designed?
Yeah.
Is that actually a word? Saint is actually wondering. Is that actually a word?
It is now. I don't know.
Okay.
It's
got
very
it.
welly designed. No,
Okay.
now I'm in my own head. No.
My work here is done.
We broke the GM. She
We
doesn't know
just
how to
got to the
English
cave.
very good. She was an English lit major. Oh no.
Well, no. So we're not sponsored, so we probably can't use Welly.
Okay. It was the sophisticated design of these interiors are truly an astonishing factor. Dust, you smell weird shit to the east.
Okay. It's gross down that way. I don't know about these other 2 directions, but ew. I would advise not going that way because it smells extremely bad. Dave, I know what you're thinking. I know you want to just
No, northeast.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stealth forward.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a stealth check. A 24. Okay, you are able to quietly move through the cave. The floor is clean. The dirt is soft. There's not like a lot of rocks. You don't have to worry about kicking. But because you're so careful in this, you know this. And as you creep forward into the dark, do you have any dark vision as a bugbear? Remind me.
You.
Perfect. So you're moving forward through this tunnel, and it progressively gets darker as the light from the open door fades. And as you kind of come around a bend, you look in, and inside this dark cavern are 2 massive lumps that are kind of slowly moving up and down, as if they're breathing. There are smaller lumps to the side, and you realize that in this cavern that you've discovered are 2 large cave bears hibernating with their cubs.
Can I get past it?
This cavern seems to like close off. It seems to like this northeast end ends with this cavern.
Okay. Then I'll just turn around and go back.
Okay, with a 24, I will accept that you're able to do that. You just kind of do the one of these, like, and you turn around and sneak back down to the group.
When I get back, there's a dead end with bears. They're sleeping, so.
Oh, okay. Well, cool. Bears, friend bears, sleeping bears. We're gonna leave them alone. They would tear me in two. So, what other direction do we want to go? Smelly or not smelly?
Something tells me it's gonna be smelly.
That's kind of what I'm thinking. So I'm wondering whether or not we should just rip off the bandage and do it now.
I mean, there's 4 of us. We could just send 2 in one direction and 2 the other way.
So splitting the party. I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Which direction would you be going, and with whom would you take with you, other than this guy, friend? Can I ask about this? Is this a friend? Is this just?
I can't bend my finger.
I was about to. Are you okay? Do you need something? Do you need someone to break it so it can move, or is it just
No, it was an accident when I was a kid. I broke the bones in my arm, up here.
Okay.
And there's a metal rod that's in there now.
Okay.
And I can't bend my finger.
I'm sorry about that.
Gee, Dust, and you were worried about us? You're talking about breaking people's hands?
Listen, sometimes you gotta set a bone by hurting yourself a little bit more in order to get it back into the correct spot. So it was a suggestion.
You know what? All right, yeah, you're the healer, I guess. So, all right. Anyway, I'm gonna go towards the smell. I've smelled worse.
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
Anybody wants that?
way.
Go with me. Come with me.
Dave, do you want to come this way with me so I can make sure you don't fucking open a goddamn door?
Yeah, don't let him touch anything.
I'm gonna go west, still stealthing.
Okay.
I'm gonna ensure that Dave doesn't kill himself and go with Dave.
Okay, so we've got
3 people, 1 way, and 2.
So we've got 2. So are we doing 2 and 2? Who's going east? Who's going towards the smell?
No,
Raise
apparently,
hands.
only Lucifer is going towards the smell, and
Okay,
everybody else is
Lucifer.
going the other way.
We're gonna handle-
Sorry.
We're going to handle Lucifer first.
Yep.
Lucifer, how are you going about this? You just walk in?
I'll be quiet. What's the light situation like?
It's dark in this area. You have the natural light of the doors behind you, but it only goes so far down these tunnels.
Okay. I do have the 60-foot dark vision.
Perfection.
But I've got some other things to help with lighting if need be. But I'm gonna be kind of going quietly. So I suppose I will be a sneaking.
Go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
I'm so sorry.
That's a 10.
Okay, you move through the caves, and you hear the rest of your party moving west behind you, and you're a little nervous to be in a place maybe by yourself, so you move a little bit quicker than is advisable via stealth. And as you approach, the stench starts to grow, and it becomes just a lot. And as you reach with your dark vision, you're able to see clearly. As you reach the end, again, it comes to a dead-ended cavern. And in that cavern, there is it's an awful pit. There's a pit of dead animal carcass refuse just piled in this cavern. And that's what you see. There's a big, stinky, smelly pile, my guy.
I can't. Does it look like anything is kept around here
No,
other than it being a turlet?
No, it really just looks like a place where gross bad things are sent to be gross bad things. There's no storage indications. As you cast your eyes around the room, it really is just a pit of bones, tendons, refuse that is just tossed into this cavern here. And it's rotting and has been rotting for some time.
All right. Yeah, I'll back out and then head back towards the middle then.
Great. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is, if you're moving expeditiously, like, okay, gross pile, just turning and moving quickly, you're able to catch up with the rest of the party as you guys are heading west through this other cavern.
Shitter's clogged.
Okay, cool. Thanks for investigating that one. Sorry, I didn't mean to leave you alone, but I appreciate you taking one for the team.
No problem.
Shh, Dave's sneaking. We should probably sneak too.
Yes, I'm going to need stealth checks from Bob and Dust. Lucifer, feel free to make a new check as you've gone a new direction.
That's a 19 for Bob.
Got a 9 for Dust.
That's an 11. I've learned a little bit since my time going to the bathroom.
So you guys, you're able to like move. Wait, did I get a new one from Dave as well?
Oh, no, sorry. 21.
Phenomenal. So you guys move through this cavern. Dave seems to be well equipped.
Massive 8-foot, 300-pound bugbear hiding.
Yeah, like there's a couple of times, Dust, where you're kind of moving along and maybe don't notice something in the dirt, and Dave kind of like grabs an elbow to help balance you out. So you're able to move more quietly through this area. And you come into another cavern, and here the area is in shambles. There appears to be a campsite that existed here. Many belongings have been left behind. And as you move in, there's like half bedrolls. There's like a knocked over, like, food set, like cooking set, you know what I mean? Like, it's just like bits and pieces all over in this cavern. And there's another way out to the north. There's a slope that leads up towards another passageway. And then to the far west sits a shrine.
Interesting.
Like in the same room, far west?
Yep, the far west of the room, there is a shrine.
So let me get this straight. A bunch of people decided to camp right next to a shrine in an old home that used to be home to 9 dwarves. I'm assuming there was a husband at some point, or maybe not. Maybe it was. I don't know. I don't mean to assume anything about. Oh, and the adopted one too. So 10, I guess. And there's just a shrine in their house. This was their house, right? Am I confused about that?
This Hilda gave the impression that this is where her clan lived, was in these caverns.
Claiming more than 9.
Are you looking at the shrine at all? Like, are you investigating?
Lucifer would.
I would
Awesome.
100% go up there too.
I would have been
Awesome.
investigating the tent stuff, like the camp stuff.
Okay, awesome. So you go over to the shrine, and on it is a blood-soaked sword, and there's a pile of broken bones beneath it. Go ahead, if you're looking at the shrine, or everybody just roll me survival checks really quick.
14.
Okay.
21.
10.
I'm not looking at the shrine, but if you still need one, 26.
Okay, perfect. That's great. Those of you that are looking at the shrine, you are all able to determine this. As you look carefully, you see that the bones down at the bottom, they are broken dwarf femurs, and that the blood on the sword is long dried and caked on. And Bob, as you're kind of looking around this camp, you're seeing that there's kind of there's like signs of activity. And there's a hearth that is still warm, like there's still heat coming off of it, as if it was recently put out. And then again with Dust, with that 21, in the shrine, you're able to find some treasures. You find a primitive carved bone statuette, worth some monies. A pair of knucklebone dice, each with a skull symbol on the side that would normally show a 6. the statuette is worth 25 gold. The dice is worth 50.
Hey, everyone. What was down the other rooms, the other ways?
There's
Shit.
Any other
There's shit.
exits?
And I can tell.
All right, so this fire is still warm, which means one of two things. One, the people have left the cave and they just sought shelter. Two, sorry, I can't put this one down. Two, they're in front of us and in the cave.
Yeah.
Dave, I'm gonna need you to not touch any doors.
Passive perception over 10, gang. Raise your hands.
Passive perception?
Yep.
Or is it?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
so
okay.
odd.
Everyone besides Dave.
Wow.
Mine's 9.
Wow.
Everyone
Yo.
besides Dave hears a kind of skittering sound. There's that pathway up the slope to the north that leads deeper in. You hear like the sound of footsteps coming from that passageway.
Y'all, I think it's option 2.
Okay.
Can I move towards it and see if I can see what I see?
Yeah, are you just trying to stand at the bottom of this path, or are you making your way up?
I guess I'll make my way up as stealthily as possible.
Okay. You step onto the slope. Go ahead and make me a dexterity saving throw, please.
A 9.
A 9. Okay. As your foot hits, you realize two things simultaneously. You are very heavy. And the second is that, imperceptible to your eye, this slope is covered in ice. Just black, slick ice. And as you put a foot on, your heel flips up into the air and you fall hard on your back, taking 11 bludgeoning damage, and you are now prone.
I'll look back at Bob. There was no doors.
What did we learn?
No doors or slopes.
Doors or floors?
Doors or floors.
Seeing him like flip out and just wipe out like that, can I take a look at the cave floor at that time? Like, is it just ice? Does it look magical? Does it look like somebody did
Go
that on
ahead.
purpose?
Go ahead and roll me a survival check so you can kind of get a full understanding of what you're looking at here.
Ooh, that's 20.
Perfection. Yeah. So you what you're seeing is that like the cavern that you're in is fine. Like it's clearly like there's nothing there, but this slope as you go up forward, it looks like water has come down and frozen along this line. Effectively, it's difficult terrain. You're going to have to move very carefully to get up this, but it is doable. You're just going to have a plan.
My plan is to stand back up and pull out my climbing gear that I have in my backpack.
Well, how like thick is it? How like what's the
with a 20, so it's just a thin sheet of black ice. You know what I mean? Like not very thick, like just enough to make it so your feet can't grip onto the stone beneath.
And can I tell where like the drips would have come from to like cause it and stuff like that?
Seems like it came from the top.
Is it still like? Well, no, 'cause it wouldn't freeze right away, I guess. But like, is it?
Yeah, because it slopes low and down. There doesn't seem to be any active water still happening. Anything that was still running has frozen.
Okay.
And it's just a still cavern.
Then I would like to produce flame.
Okay.
And pretty much just kind of start. It's this is my cantrip. So I would like to just kind of start, produce a flame, toss it, see what it does.
Okay.
And if it looks like it's melting, I'm going to do another flame and kind of like just try and melt it.
Awesome. I love this idea. Will you just throw the details in so I can see how efficient this is? Because I think this is a great idea.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. So you just hand torch this ice as you're kind of moving you're up this way. You're being very careful to like, step where you are able to melt the ice away. And you do a good job of it. Everyone else, you're able to follow up behind him as he's melting the ice. However, Lucifer, as you reach about the half point, you hear a sound again ahead of you, and you look up, and up at the top of the cavern, kind of backlit by some far-off torchlight, there's a hooded figure. It reaches into its cloak and with a deft movement pulls something out, and in the next moment you see a cream pie flying through the air, like in your direction. You're a little confused at first and like kind of dodge to the side, and the cream pie actually hits the ground, and as it does, it magically transforms into a gush of water, exploding, and the water almost freezing instantaneously. And just like you look and see as that water freezes on the ground, and you look back up, and the hooded figure is gone, running off towards the west.
So I have a question as part of that, real fast. How far up the slope is this hooded figure?
I'd say probably like a good 40 feet.
Damn it.
I know, right?
Just had to give that extra fucking 10, didn't you?
It's almost like I know the ranges of spells sometimes.
Well, hang on for a second here. Hang on. Yeah. So, here's what I'd like to do. I would like... I'd like to use the dash action.
Ooh, fun.
To run towards it.
You're going to have to move in front of Lucifer, and that's going to proc a dex save.
For the fire?
For the ice.
For the
I'm going
ice?
to push him,
still
too.
Slippery.
Is that because it's difficult terrain? Because difficult terrain doesn't count for me if I'm dashing.
It is difficult terrain, but it's the ice piece of it.
Okay, cool.
You're trying to move across ice.
I'll give you a dex save.
Okay.
Listen, I can just throw him.
19.
Okay. You are able to deftly move up this area. You dash. That's going to give you 60 feet, correct?
80.
80. Awesome. So you reach the top because you see this figure dart to the west, and as you get to the top, there's no one there. You are now at the top. The slope terminates at the passageway. There's one that goes west and one that goes east.
I would like to touch my medallion and cast Detect Thoughts.
Okay, drop that in the chat for me.
And move about the room. Trying to get within 30 feet of something that has thought.
Okay.
Because I'm working. Hang on, I don't know how to do this from Roll20. Or from... there we go. Wait a minute. The person who plays Cascade is asking me about Detect Thoughts?
I just want to make sure I understand the thing.
I know if there's anything conscious that has thoughts within 30 feet.
It's in 30 feet.
You hear Dave.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. We're going to get to that. Well, no, I'm 40 feet away from you.
So this is how it'll be. You run up. As fast as you can, you run up, and you kind of look around and instantly pop this spell as you're focusing your attention in the 30 feet around you, kind of tough visioning for thoughts. And as you do from the west, you just hear a laugh as it disappears. Like right on the edge, like it's almost like a split second.
So not long enough for me to press that, huh?
No.
And the exits from here are just to the west, you said?
There's west and there's east.
Cool. feel like I've done my action if you'd like to.
Everybody else, you just trying to climb the slope?
Yeah, just trying to get on up there.
Just keep, flaming.
Following Hot Man Lucifer, who is able to get rid of the rest of the ice, you reach the top successfully.
Flameo, Hotman.
Flame on, man, flame on. Yeah, and you reach the top successfully. Where would you like to go?
There's. I think he went to the west.
Was there anything else in this room, or is it just?
Yeah, it's
kind
just
of like a small.
Yeah, just a small antechamber that leads off in to two different directions.
All
Dave's
right.
totally gonna go west.
Hang on for 1 second, though. Hang on, because detect thoughts lasts for 1 minute.
You're gonna hold on to this?
Can I know what everyone's thinking? Surface thoughts?
Surface thoughts. Yep.
Of
you
my
get
whole
surface
party?
thoughts.
No door. Floor.
Just thinking about how bad my back hurts after having climbed that slope. I just don't want to smell that shitty smell again.
Lucifer?
Was that a pie?
Thanks, that's all I wanted.
Great. Dave, you said you're heading west
Stealthily, yes.
stealthily. Okay, roll me a new stealth check. Everybody else, what are you doing? You got east and you got west.
13.
I already did it, Saint.
Damn it!
Too slow.
Lucifer's gonna go like the opposite way, just to scout out that the other way then from where Dave's going. Gonna stealth as well.
Okay. Roll me a stealth check. Bob and Dust, which ways are you guys going?
Oh, nice. 19.
Oh boy. You guys were going to the west?
Dave's going west. Lucifer's going east.
I'm going to go with Lucifer this time and also go east.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not... Okay, 2 questions. 1, how's the light situation in this cave? 2, I'm not letting Dave out of my sight.
There's dim light, but like it's not... it's like there's some like... Clearly this was like a structure following Hilda's explanation where people lived. So there seems to be light channels that come in, but it's very dim. It's not like brightly lit. Most of you guys have dark vision, so you're able to see somewhat.
Yeah, no, I don't. That's
Yes.
why I'm saying this. So I will be following along with Dave.
Okay.
Holding light to cast on Dave.
Okay, very good. Very good. We are going to start with our east-going crew.
I'm too
So-
big. You can't cast light on me.
Yes, I can. I mean, if you don't want it, there's a save.
There is a save.
All
This
right.
is true. Lucifer and Dust, you head to the east, and it's a short walk, just a short little tunnel that kind of arcs around. And inside you find what seems to be a sleeping area filled with cots. As you're kind of moving in, there's it looks like a sleeping room. What would you like to do?
Is there anything else of note in here? Like any, like foot lockers or decorations or anything like that? Or is it pretty basic?
Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
Sure.
Yeah,
Let me know.
I'm gonna be looking around too for. I'm gonna be looking around for any specific chests or holding devices.
Okay, go ahead and roll perception for me.
I got a 14 on my perception check.
Okay.
17.
Okay. So you kind of move into the room. You see these sleeping cots, and you're like, okay. You're starting to case the joint. Dust, you kind of take a step into the room to try and get a closer look. And you're walking. Lucifer, you hang back for a second, and you watch as the channel of the natural light comes down, and you notice a glint on the floor, and you run your eyes along it, and you notice that there is a tripwire. But before you can say anything, Dust, you activate the tripwire,
Oh no!
Walking into it. The tripwire snaps, and there is on the ceiling. There's like a ledge, and from that comes toppling over a pot that then crashes on the floor, spilling a 10 by 10 foot area, so covering dust and maybe getting Lucifer a little bit in honey. Can I go ahead? Well, actually, give me a dex saving throw to see if you're actually covered in honey or not.
Okay.
If I notice it's if I notice it coming down, like if I notice something about it that it's a trap, is there any way that I can like run up and like try to assist with like getting dust out of the way?
Given the sequence of events, because like you both rolled for checks and like mechanically she just failed it, unfortunately not. I can help you, like depending on the result of the dex saves, we can maybe try to work something out there. And like I will say, like, Dust is the one that triggered it, so she's definitely in the splash zone for what's about to happen. And you'll be kind of like on the outskirt.
Okay, so I guess I'm of two thoughts, and this has to do with kind of my alignment here. If it looks like I can do something to help save Dust, I want to try and do that. If it gets to the point where it kind of looks like there's no way I can help, I'm protecting my ass as much as possible. So then if it looks like I'm going to get covered in something or something's going to happen to me, I would then like to see if I can take an action to do something to avoid anything and everything.
Awesome. Go ahead and make me that dex save really quick. And then
I'm also doing a dex save?
Yes.
Okay. 16.
Perfect. Dust, you trigger this. You hear Lucifer kind of do that, like as he tries to stop you from this course of action. You hear the tripwire snap, and you hear the pot overhead come falling down. And as it does, it just pours out this long, like glowing waterfall of honey that just plasters you directly in the face. There's honey everywhere. It splashes all over. Lucifer, you're able to jump back as it's an inordinate amount of honey. And Dust, you are now just covered in very, very sticky honey.
Just imagine a cat that's taken a bath that's extremely fluffy and is now revealed just how tiny they really are. Just that imagery, but instead of water, it's honey. Just...
Can I out of character just say something that is really amusing to me?
If you'd like.
I mean, the viscosity of honey, though, right? Like, we're talking, right? It's slow. So, like, in my head, the way this went down is like that long slow motion of like the two of them like cutting back and forth to their faces as the honey is just dripping down very slowly.
Glom.
It's like the guy in Austin Powers that's about to be run over by a steamroller.
Yes.
Just like refusing to move out of the way.
That one. Yep.
Get out of the way.
In my head, that's how that whole scene went down.
Cool.
I wasn't the only one.
Yep, you're not the only one.
Dust, you're now covered in honey. Lucifer, you're standing at a tabaxi covered in honey. And then to both of your chagrin, you hear emerging from different holes in the wall. I'm going to give you an opportunity to make one action.
This doesn't look good. Crap. Crud. Darn heck. Shoot. Well, I don't want to get stung by bees. You want to get out of here?
I would suggest we run, and hopefully you can get that off of yourself real quick. I'm actually gonna like let Dust like have a chance to like dip so that
okay,
she's in like behind me, so she's getting out first, and then I'm kind of taking up the rear then, but also running.
Hey,
Absolutely running 100%, but also trying to like lick the honey off the best that I can. Like,
yeah, you're covered in this honey, and it's very sticky. You are not going to be able to move as quickly as you want to. So you're moving, but like as you are, your fur's getting caught on itself. You're having a hard time. Like, have you seen a cat when it gets its paws wet and how it kind of flicks them? Like you're trying to move. So your movement's going to be at half speed, just because
Awesome.
you are doused in this stuff.
Totally fair.
As you continue to run, Lucifer, you're also running behind?
Yeah, but it's because again, like Lucifer's kind of gonna try and help if he can, but if he can't, it's every man for himself. So seeing as she's having a difficult time with it, I'm gonna see if I can't just like I think I'm gonna throw no, I'm gonna hold off on that. I'm just gonna run, but if she's falling behind, then I'm gonna run faster.
Awesome. You guys turn to run out of this room, and Dust, right as you kind of make it back to the entrance with Lucifer close behind, 5 swarms of bees erupt from the walls, swirling and angry at the scent of honey. Finally, their sweet, precious honey has been found. And they are going to descend upon you, chasing you as you try to kite them through these caverns. I'm going to cut over to Dave and Bob for a second, who are walking down these tunnels. There's been kind of quiet, but then you suddenly hear the twang of a tripwire snapping, the crash of a pot as it hits the ground, and the echo of large, angry bees behind you.
Cool, but what's in the room we're in?
You've not
Also-
reached it yet.
Also, while that was all happening, I think in the last few seconds of his minute of detect thoughts,
Mhm.
he's gonna hear Dave go, Dave, the master trap finder.
You guys are just continuing to carry on, my wayward
Right.
sons.
My question is as a bugbear, am I immune to bee stings?
I don't know. Are you? Does it say that? I don't think you are. I don't think
I
it's
can write it
specifically
in.
called out. No.
Are there bees within speaking distance of me?
You are gonna have to. You can hear them behind you because you've kind of carried on forward. I mean, if you could try calling out and seeing if the other people hear you. I guess. Like I don't
I'm
know how
gonna
you would
continue
know
west.
that.
Well, I heard the bees. I wasn't asking about people. I was asking about bees.
But bees don't talk
Maybe
unless
I
you're the
can speak to
Lorax and you
animals.
speak to the bees.
I mean, I literally have speech of beast and leaf. So
Okay.
I do speak to the bees.
So yeah, if you can hear them going, bzzz, then yeah, I feel like
What
you
are they
could
saying?
probably cast. What are they saying?
You first.
you can't really understand them though. You just
Oh,
They-
yeah.
Oh,
They can hear
communicate
you.
though not understand. Damn it.
yep.
We keep going
I'm gonna
forward.
say what the frick. Okay, you're gonna keep going forward.
Mhm.
All right, so I'm going to cut back to Dust and Lucifer. I'm gonna need you guys to roll me initiative, please. And thank you.
Oh boy. Here you go. I got a
Wish-
16.
I wish I'd prepared tongues.
All right, Ash, what was that initiative again?
16.
Lucifer,
18.
18. Great. You are up first, Lucifer.
Okay, making sure I understand this.
You see 5 distinct swarms of bees chasing after you.
How far away?
They are. You guys were moving towards the door, so I'm gonna say they're about. But Dust had half speed, so they're about 15, 20 feet behind you.
Okay. Blah. Okay. If I understand this right, I'm going to do a radiant sunbolt
Ooh.
Okay.
at one of the groups.
Okay.
Let me just display the whole thing. It's range of 30 feet. When I take the attack action on my turn and use a special attack as part of it, I can spend a key point to make the special attack twice as a bonus action. So
you're basically firebending radiance.
yes.
Okay, sick.
And I think by reading this correctly, if I spend a key point, I can do it twice.
Yes, as a bonus action. So instead of like flurry of blows. So at this level, at level 5 monk, you have 2 attacks, right? So you can attack. You can attack normal. You can attack using this, and then as your bonus action, use this again by spending a key point.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
But when I gain the extra attack feature, this special attack can be used for any of the attacks. That's just saying like I can.
Yes.
It can be used for any. Okay.
Yep.
All right. It doesn't matter because like they're at the distance and I want to try and promote that way. So I will be doing this twice.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit then.
That's the key point. And here's 22.
22 will hit. Go ahead and roll that damage.
5 radiant damage.
Awesome. You hit this you punch and there's a bolt of radiance that arcs from your knuckles towards this swarm of bees and it catches a huge chunk of them and they just disappear into like ash. But they continue to swarm about, but you have hurt them. You've hurt them greatly.
Okay. Then I'm gonna try and kind of maximize the damage potential here. So I'll aim at like a different one.
Okay.
Kind of do the one pew and then the other pew here.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to hit.
16.
That will hit. Roll damage.
That one's a 7 radiant damage.
Okay, awesome. And then I believe, so that would be your one attack and bonus attack. You do have a remaining attack or a bonus action. So you've used one attack, a bonus action.
Okay. So yeah, I'll do like radiant sunbolt, and as as I hit with like the other one, I'm gonna be reaching around for a dart and try and flick a dart towards one of like just to hit one of the. I don't know. Maybe I can stack a couple of them in a kebab. I don't know.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it. You're throwing a dart at another one.
24
will hit. Yep, roll damage.
5 piercing damage.
Are you targeting one of the ones you already hit or a totally new one?
That one's going to be whatever. So yeah, let's do it for one of the ones I already hit.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do the first one then. For additional 5 damage. Phenomenal. Yeah, you, you radiant punch dagger, and that first swarm that you hit with 2 attacks, it like is decreased significantly by half. The other one has a chunk taken out from it. Is there anything else you'd like to do other than just to continue running away?
No, I think that's it for the time being. Yeah.
All right, Ash, you are up.
Okay. So where I'm currently at, I'm only able to move half speed. So that's really only 15 feet. At this point, have any of these bees caught up?
They've not caught up yet. They are swarming and roiling and moving in your direction, though. They will catch up on their turns.
Okay. Still trying to move away as fast as possible, so only the 15 feet at a time. Dust is just gonna turn around and kind of haphazardly flick some of the honey off of her paw, and as such cast what is it? Sacred Flame, and just kind of shoot it out of her hand.
Amazing.
Back at one of the bees. As she continues to try and run.
Roll to hit.
I believe this is a dex save for this guy.
Ooh. Well, then let me roll.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, no, that's fail.
Ooh. Okay. They take 10 radiant damage there.
Awesome. For the sake of convenience for me, your GM, you hit the one that Lucifer hit with 2 attacks, and it just erupts as those bees are burned up by the sacred flame and are no more.
Cool.
Perfection. Anything else you want to do?
As Dust sees this bee just kind of explode, she'll just kind of remark, it was your time, it's okay, and continue to very slowly and stickily run down this tunnel.
Imagine it's just like her little, like, not wanting to touch anything as she moves.
Yeah.
Awesome. So first up is, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. These guys are going to try and come at you to get you. Does an 11 hit, Dust?
Oh, it absolutely does not.
Awesome. Another swarm is going to come at Lucifer. Does a 9 hit? I'm guessing no.
Nope.
All right, we're gonna do this twice more with feeling. A 6 for Lucifer, a 21 for Dust. Does that hit?
Was that a nat 20 or just a 21 total?
A dirty 21.
Oh, okay, that does hit.
Okay, awesome. So you're gonna take, you're going to take 9 piercing damage as these bees swarm and bite and sting you. We're going to cut over to Dave and Bob, who are continuing to walk down this long tunnel towards the west. What do you got? You guys just walking?
Making my way downtown. Yeah, walking through the tunnel.
Okay, awesome. You continue, and as you do, you see more light ahead. You will soon reach your destination.
I wonder, like, is the sound of chaos increasing
Yes.
from behind?
You have a tabaxi covered in honey trying to run for their lives down a tunnel with 5 swarms of bees chasing them, flame and radiance erupting behind them. Yeah, there's a cacophony.
Okay, but I don't know
Of
that would
chaos.
be a cacophony. Like, is Dust yelling?
It's a tunnel.
Yeah, I haven't heard
It
anybody yell.
echoes.
Here, let me do this for you.
Soundgate is like, his Soundgate said no.
There's no noise. All right, well, I don't hear anything then.
Yeah, I don't hear anything. There's nothing happening.
All right. You got too good of a sound gate.
Oh, it stopped everything, but I want to know what that sound was so
I know.
bad.
You know what? I'm gonna look back because I hear something. I will roll a perception check to see
Okay.
if I pay. Oh fuck! I rolled high.
Yeah, you did.
21. So I would hear something. Hey, Dave. Master Trap Finder. I think we need to go back.
He'll turn around and look at Bob and like kind of like thinks he knows, but doesn't understand why he called him the Master Trap Finder.
Listen, I need you not to go forward anymore. Let's go back.
All right, Dave will go follow Bob back, I guess.
Okay. You guys are going to turn around and start running back in their direction, which is taking us back to the top of the order with Lucifer. You have 4 swarms of insects that are descending upon you. They are now swarming all around you. They have, in fact, caught up and are just whirring around you in an angry, honey-crazed obsession.
Okay, then I am going to, if I understand this stuff correctly, I can spend a key point to take the disengage action as a bonus action.
Yep, step of the wind, yep.
So I am doing that. Let me make sure I mark that off to get away from the bees safely, to kind of duck around. And I would like to, as I'm disengaging and moving away from them, I'm going to position myself in a way that I'm not going to be, hopefully not going to hit Dust. And if there's any possible way I can get them all, so I am okay. So from me, 15-foot cone, not hitting dust, but trying to hit all of the bees. Does that make sense?
You're trying to annihilate them and not her.
Yes.
Because here's what I'll do. Because you guys are like back to back, what I can do is have you prepare this and hold it. And the instant that dust gets out of the way, then you release it, because your guys' turns are back to back before the bees. So yes, that will work out phenomenally. Dust, we're just going to kind of jump ahead. You're going to move out of the way. Lucifer, you have the zone in order to do the dope shit that you would like to do.
Perfect. Which is he's going to do just a quick kind of clap of his hands and move his hands in this particular way, because it does say thumbs touching and fingers spread. The thin sheet of flames shoot forth my outstretched fingers as I cast Burning Hands.
Oh, heck yeah.
Each creature in a 15-foot cone must make a dexterity saving throw.
Okay, let me do that. Okay, so I have a 6, a 12, a 6, and then one of them crit.
The DC is 14, so
all but one fail.
Yeah. And so that's 9 for the fails, and then half of that for the successful.
Awesome. We're gonna do this. Awesome. Yeah, you catch them all with these hands. And fire erupts and burns through the bees. You hear kind of like some as some of them leave this mortal coil, hotter than they were a moment ago. Is there anything else you would like to do?
Dust, just keep running, and that's it.
All right, Dust, you are up. You have moved your movement to catch up. I'm going to proc just like one opportunity attack, but they're rolled a 1, so nothing's gonna happen to you bad ever.
Okay.
What would you like to do with your turn?
There was something that I did want to do and wait for them to be within range of me, but
we're right on top of you in order to attack you, so they are right there.
Okay. So Dust is still continuing to like shake off this honey, and she would have just kind of like clasped her paws together really quick, and kind of with a burst of light, just saying, "The fuck off me!" Casting Word of Radiance to try and hit these bad boys that are within range of her. It is a Constitution saving throw for those dudes.
And is it like an area of effect kind of a deal?
It is.
Awesome.
Each creature of your choice that you can see within range.
The
within
highest,
a 5-foot range.
Only one of them got a 17. Everything else is lower.
Okay. So here's the damage for that. I think it's only the ones that failed that take the damage.
Okay.
8 radiant damage.
Okay, awesome. There's that one. There's that one. One of the swarms just disappears. Like it's the one that's trying to descend, and as you get off of me and you let out that eruption of energy, it just like little shadows of bee bodies are like etched on the wall as you explode. And the rest remain still up. 2 of them are looking real rough. Another one's fairly decent.
I'm imagining these as like little tiny bee bodies in, supernatural-esque of the angel wings on the wall.
Yes.
That's fucking great.
100%.
They're little tiny wings. Okay, that's
better make sure you kill Barry Benson so he doesn't sue you afterwards.
Yep.
All
right.
Because you are still covered in honey ash, they are more interested in you than Lucifer. The first one's going to try and get you with a 7, which is not going to fly. The second one's going to try to get Lucifer with a 12, which is not going to fly. However, Ash, I do believe that a crit will hit.
It actually won't. That is a normal hit. I have adamantine scale armor, so
Hell yeah! So it's just like regular damage. Is that how it works?
yeah, it just removes the
nullifies
crit.
the
It
hit.
still hits,
Yeah, the
but
crit.
Okay,
yeah.
awesome. It's real hurt too, which is actually in your advantage because that decreases the amount of damage it can actually do. It only does 3 piercing damage because there's just fewer bees to do bee bullshit. All right, so Bob and Dave, I'm just gonna have you guys. Oh yes, Bob. I'm gonna have you guys go back to back. Who has the higher dex?
So probably
18.
yeah. So mine's 14. However, I did take the mobile feat, and I'm dashing at 80 feet per turn.
Okay. So you will arrive there first. As you come around the corner, you see Dust. There's still like the iridescent burning bee wings kind of hovering around her halo and then falling onto her shoulders to be stuck in the honey that she's covered in. You have Lucifer just hot hands blasting everything as they come barreling towards you. There are 3 remaining swarms.
So coming around the corner, straight up like Family Guy monkey, like pointing. I would like to make an argument that the sum total of Dust's clothing is less than a cubic foot, and I would like to cast Prestidigitation to clean it of all the honey.
Yes, perfection. I love this. You come around, you see her, you just like, there's like a finger gun as there's like a pulse of energy that like hits into you, Ash, and all of the honey just splatters like onto the walls behind you. Like just this, like you get the multiple like anime camera angles of like when somebody like supersonic punches, you know what I mean? But it's just honey like
This is great. That was going to be a request anyway, so thank you.
you are now. Yeah.
I have a request.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're going to allow this. I would like
Hit me with
to
it.
communicate using Speech of Beast and Leaf with the bees to say, who hurt you? Shoefly don't bother me. And I would like that to be a persuasion to tell them to go fuck off. If that's an action, that's okay. I'll wait till the next round.
Yeah, that's my only argument, that it is an action.
But all I'm doing is talking. It's just an intent.
Yes, but like it's the intent
Fair.
behind it, because
All
it's
right.
like mechanically it's the check. Like
Fair. All
that's my only thing is like I hear you.
Yep.
I hear what you're saying.
It's okay. I'll wait till next round. I'll still get advantage on it. I'm done.
I am bound by my genie gauntlets to the rules.
I get it. That's it then.
let's- okay,
just
awesome.
clean dust.
Okay, Dave, you come around. There's been a honey explosion. You see chaos. What would you like to do?
They're bees.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go back west. They're bees.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Dave-
Delg.
Dave is tired of this bullshit. That takes us up to the top with Lucifer. You have 2 swarms just hanging on for dear life. Another one that looks like, I don't know, they could go another round. What do you want to do? They are in your space, so you do not have to worry about range.
Okay. Then. Then I think at this point, then I am going to just take out my short sword and kind of just start wailing at them to see what I can hit.
Awesome. Yeah,
I
yeah.
need a called attack for you to cut their wings off.
I mean,
He just like samurai sword, like
Yeah.
wacha, like cuts off all of their wings simultaneously. So good. Oh my gosh. Yeah, go ahead and roll. Are you doing 2 attacks with the short sword?
I'm gonna do 2 attacks.
Okay,
Yeah,
roll them.
14.
That will hit. That will hit. Go ahead and roll the other one.
Oof.
Okay.
It's only 3 piercing, and then 12.
Just hits. Go ahead and roll damage. Perfection.
5. Hey,
You Rognus 2 swarms of bees. How would you like to describe that?
Okay, I'm a little disappointed, but I'm glad because I want to save that for later. I just kind of I'm sick of just like trying to throw magic and stuff, and so I'm just kind of throwing this sword around, and then there's just a bunch of like, some of them are like half winged and just kind of like bopping about, and some of them are cut in half. It was just kind of like crapshoot with how I'm swinging the sword around, and I think even after all of them are kind of down, I'm still kind of like,
yeah, and it just works. It's a very effective monk blender as these bees just fall upon this blade and are no more. Anything else you would like to do with your turn?
No, if it looks like the danger has subsided, then
there's still one swarm.
There is a swarm.
Yeah, you've dispatched with two of them. There's one remaining swarm.
Okay. Then I think with no, I think that's just gonna be it. I'm still just gonna be kind of. The first two strikes were like very poignant, very specific to like try and cut, but then they're just all around, and now I'm just like, That's all I'm doing from.
Okay, awesome. Ash, you are up with Dust. You got one final swarm. You are no longer accosted by honey on your tabaxi form.
Oh, wonderful! Thank you very much for that. That was gross. I'm also not like upset about it. Anyway, how many more bees do we have here?
Oh no!
My work is done.
Between the finger monkey and Ash's fucking Drake dance fruit ninja. I'm undone. Okay, yeah, you have one swarm of bees accosting you, and that is all. They are in your space. You do not need to worry about range.
Tight. Okay. I think I'm just gonna try and claw attack them as like a oh god, get these bees off of me thing.
Go. Go ahead.
It's not gonna be great. It's a 4.
Yeah, no, you take a swipe with your hand, and they just matrix dodge, like again in that very like time slows, and all of these bees simultaneously like barrel roll around your paw.
They'll have trench jackets and fucking sunglasses.
You're the one, Bio. You're the one.
Yes, I love this.
Oh my god.
Is there anything else you'd like to do? Bonus action.
Oh, what can I do? Oh fuck. I don't, man. I just think that's so fucking funny. I think she'd just be super distracted, like, why? No!
Why the bees? It is.
That's my turn.
It is now the bees' turn. They're the hard works of, or the golden fruit of their labors has been plastered along the walls around you, and some of them have peeled off, more interested in that because that's really what they cared about before. They are going to disengage and just move over to the walls where the honey is and begin to kind of attend to that because they're bees, not big bad evil guys, and that's what they would like to do. You have solved the bee puzzle. Congratulations. And you have left combat as these bees just kind of move over to the walls and engage themselves with returning their stolen fruits to their hive. Yes, Bob.
Bob would like to point at the bees and cast Witch Bolt.
Okay. Okay. Roll to hit.
That is a 23 to hit.
That will hit. What's
God.
the damage?
The damage for the first one is 11 lightning damage.
Okay.
Coming from the rod in his arm.
Okay. Yeah, you eviscerate a good chunk of these bees as they once again are finally returned to the sweet, sweet nectar that will make their family great amongst the other bees, and soon they will be able to buy back the farm. And that is the final thought that they think as you just burn them from this existence.
Are there more bees?
Yes, there's
I'm
some bees
still
left.
concentrating on
Some
Witch Bolt.
refugees.
I would like to do damage again.
Okay, roll the hit, I guess.
Actually, no. I just do
Oh,
it
that's right.
automatically.
Okay, what's the damage?
So for round 2 of which, 12. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, no. The remaining bees look back at their brethren, gone, and are afraid because surely they were so close to taking home the life source that would keep the hive functioning. And as they do, their multifaceted eyes are lit up by the light of your witch bolt as they watch their brothers, mothers, sisters all burned away. And before they can turn, pivot, fly away to safety, to freedom, another bolt arcs out and destroys them all. The civilization of the bee has fallen. The time of the bob has come.
None of your attempts to make me feel bad about what I've done have worked. I will turn back to the group and say they should have fucking listened. And I will put my finger down.
Awesome.
Dave, something tells me that you should probably listen to him.
I'm already like halfway down the hall. I saw bees. I'm like, they're just fucking bees, and I left.
Yep. Yep. The rest of the party is going to step to arrive with Dave. What's everybody's passive insight?
17.
9.
14.
14 as well.
Okay. Both because Lucifer and Dust were the two that saw in the room. There was a tripwire in a sleeping quarters. That doesn't really seem functional. That seems rather devious. And that thought strikes you as you hurry to catch up with Dave. And I think right there is where we're going to take a quick 5-minute break, if that's all right with everybody. Awesome. Hi, chat. Stick around. We're just going to go get more water. We're going to stretch our legs. We're going to call our bees and tell them that we love them and remind them that they are the hope of our future, because without them, all is lost.
I will kill them all.
And it didn't work. We are back. We have solved the problem of having bees, I guess, at all, ever. So that's pretty cool. And you guys are continuing west into this passage. Dave, you were the first to arrive because you assessed the situation behind you, deemed it not worth your attention, and continued on.
Do I need a new spell check?
No, we're gonna continue. We're gonna continue to carry yours over. It was adequate. You continue in. The tunnel leads to what seems to be a guard room. There's a large prisoner cell on the far west, and there's no signs of any life in this room. There's a skeleton that rests in the corner of the cell. I'm going to give you some time to kind of poke around here before everyone else arrives.
Is there another way out?
There is. Stand by. Let me make sure I understand which direction it is in. I believe it is to... Let me double check this really quick. Actually, sorry, I read this wrong. You do not see any immediate exit.
Oh, well, that's what I'd be looking for because I haven't found the chest. So I'll be looking for the chest or a place to go to where the chest might be.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a perception check.
8.
Yeah, you're looking around this room, and it just seems to be a guard station. You've got this cell with a skeleton in it, and as you kind of go poking around, the rest of the party arrives. You have entered into a guard room. The prisoner cell on the west side of the wall. A skeleton sits in the far corner. Dave searches, scours for a way out. What would you like to do?
This is a very interesting labyrinth of a place. I'm assuming this guard room was not part of the family thing. I don't know. It just seems all super strange.
I mean, it might have been, but like, why put even if it wasn't part of the family thing, why put a guard room here? Like,
Yeah.
Are they guarding the bees?
They could be.
The honey?
What are they guarding other than a dead guy in there?
Well, also the guy that was in the other room, the guy who yeeted the pie at our friend here. He ran this way and he's not here, unless that's him. Dave, is that him?
I'll go up and poke the skeleton.
So the skeleton is inside a locked cell. You're gonna have to open up that door first.
It's a door. I was told no door. I'd be like, it's a door.
I will go forward.
Okay. You try to go into the cell and you find that the door is in fact locked. What would you like to do?
Dave,
Yes.
maybe one door, and I will Misty Step into the cell.
Phenomenal. You are now inside of this cell next to the skeleton. And you want to check the skeleton out, yeah?
I will take my rod-like pointy finger and poke the skeleton.
Okay. Go ahead and roll me a survival check really quick as you're poking the skeleton.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but that's a 26.
Okay,
Whoa.
great. You walk
Dead.
over and you put out your finger and you poke the skeleton.
Fingers,
and it
hang on. Fingers always out. I don't put it out. It's just there.
It's just there.
I can't bend it.
Listen, sir, I am so sorry for that insinuation, and
we
I
not-
will make sure to improve my nomenclature in the future. I apologize, and I appreciate your patience as we learn
Just
in this trying time. I respect you as an individual.
borderline verbal
in the
ableism is
finger.
all I'm saying. Just come on.
Listen. All right, so you reach out, and as you touch the skeleton, it topples over to the side, and you are able to determine that this is a skeleton of a dwarf. And you find, as it falls over, you find some stuff on the skeleton. What do you find? You find...
Bones.
I really hoped that this would be the thing, but now I'm just very pleased. A small, kind of glass bowl falls out of the jacket in the dwarf's, like pocket, and it rolls onto the floor, and that really, like, it makes that harsh sound of glass on stone as it rolls around a couple of times before teetering into place. And it looks like a small glass bowl.
I would like to cast Detect Magic.
All right, you cast Detect Magic, and this is a conjuration magic.
Oh, look at your Algarn in the soup.
So the bowl does conjuration magic.
Correct.
I will pick the bowl up.
You pick the bowl up, and on the rim of the glass, in fine lettering, is inscribed, "Or would you like to have a fish?"
I will study the bowl for a moment while everyone else goes.
Okay, Dust, I believe your passive perception is 17, if I remember
Correct.
correctly. Yeah,
Yes.
you walk into this room as Bob is contemplating this bowl, and you look to let's see. Yeah, you look, and in fact, to the south, you find a secret door. You kind of move over it till you see that, like, the table kind of swings away, and you notice those details and find a secret passageway that leads further in.
Neat. Hey, Dave, you're a big fan of these. Found another door. You might be interested in that. I don't know if you want to go through it or if you want to bombard through. I'm here
Yeah,
for
he's
the
gonna
party
open
at
the
this
door.
point. Tight.
Bob is still in the locked cell with this bowl and skeleton.
Bob, you gonna get yourself out of there? We found another passageway.
No, I told Dave one door to get me out. Oh.
I think he's distracted by another door, perhaps, instead of the one that you are currently behind.
Dave, you're not an intelligent fellow, are you?
Dave's gonna turn around and look at Bob and kind of smile and then shrug and then go to the other door still.
Yeah, hey Dave, if you can just let me out, that'd be swell.
I will go over and attempt to pull open the locked door.
Yeah, Dave, it's locked. I'm gonna need you to try harder.
Ah!
He will put two hands on the locked door and try a little harder.
Okay, roll me a strength check to see
Can
if
I
you
can I try to
break
open the
open this
door
door.
too? Like, can I help him?
Like, you're just trying to open it? You're just trying to force the door open? Yeah. Go ahead and make a strength check with advantage.
I was gonna say is because I technically count as a like additional thing because I'm a furbolg, and I just wanted to give him advantage. That's all.
I cannot believe that. I cannot believe that.
1,414.
Yes.
Did I win?
With the two of you, it takes some time. And you are able to kind of eventually Bob notices that they are half pin barrel hinges, and you are able to get a table nearby and lift this door up off of its hinges and get him out.
Once he gets out, I'll reach into my backpack and pull out a crowbar and hand it to him and go to the other door.
Okay.
Tight.
Couldn't have
Hey.
pulled that out 10. Oh,
Very good. Let's see. I'm just reading through some stuff really quick.
Gotta remove my and make sure you add a crowbar because I gotta remove them.
Yeah, you guys are able to continue on heading south through the door. You arrive at an empty cavern within a vast tunnel network. There's no sign of the hooded figure, but your olfactory senses fill with the stench of guano.
I know what that is.
bat poop.
I know that.
Let me check the map really quick.
Is this like a... Well, you're checking the map, but
Yep,
whenever
yep.
you determine this, is this like a big open area? Is it more like a small corridor kind
Yeah,
of a
so
thing?
it's a small cavern. Your passive perception is high enough that I'll give you them good eats. Let's see. I'm trying to find it. It's a small cavern. It smells not pleasant. You'll notice as you look on the ceiling, there are 5 swarms of bats hanging from the ceiling, dozing, just, living their best lives. You'll notice, however, though, that the way that they're positioned and their droppings on the floor, there is a 15-foot perimeter in the middle of the room that these bats seem to avoid, where there is no guano, there's no droppings of any kind. Yeah, kind of in the room. Let's see. How about everybody go ahead and make me a perception check as well at this point?
Good at these.
I don't know. Oh man, a 12.
4.
14.
So, like, I had wanted to do something in character with Dave,
Okay, what was it?
but I rolled
What was
a 20.
it,
I rolled
buddy?
a 22 with perception, though, so I definitely would see it.
You definitely.
I wanted to,
Dave-
like, have a conversation with Dave and just, like, wander into the room. But, no, I was 22.
Yeah, you see in this area that Dust has noticed, you notice that there is, in fact, a pressure plate that these bats seem to be avoiding. And it is in the direction, like, in order for you to get past, it's going to be very difficult for you to not cross over it, like, in order to get to the exit.
I'm really good at jumping. I can make it to that
So,
spot.
Dave, just hang on, Dave. Here's what I need from you. I need you to explain to me. I know that you're not the most intelligent people among the group, but that's okay. Because I want the outsider's perspective of this. So, do you see the ground here? Do you see how there's like a little bit of an outline? It's like darker. Dave, do you see the outline?
Yes.
Now here's the thing that I find curious. Bats are on the ceiling,
Yes.
but the bats aren't on the ceiling above the outline. It's like they're avoiding this area.
No, they're like staying close to the wall so the breeze doesn't get them as well.
You know what? That explanation works as good for me as any other, so we'll take it. There's a thing here, guys. Don't step there.
Cool. Good to know.
Mm-hmm. There might be a thing on the ceiling too that the bats are avoiding. I don't know.
Okay.
So don't step on the ceiling.
I'll try not to the best of my ability.
I don't know what you
won't
can
do that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what you can and can't do, so I'm just covering all my bases.
You know, that's fair. That's totally fair. I appreciate it. So we're stepping in the bat poop. Going around this thing, perhaps? Are there any other visible doors in this area?
Yep. So you move in. You're able to bypass around this pressure plate, calling out to each other and using a variety of assistance methods, team building exercises, if you will. And as you do, you get to the other side of the cavern where a passage leads west. Let's see, and let me pull this up. Yeah, the passage leads west in, and there's a room to I'm struggling to figure out how to describe this. Here we go. The door goes out west, and you step through. And as you do, you enter into a storage room. There are crates and barrels that seem to be full of food, and not just like dried meats, but fresh fruits that are not rotten. They are new. But more than that, what strikes you are the livestock. There are pigs and chickens, well tended to, fed, happily snorting or clucking as chickens and pigs do in pens. There's casks full of salted pork and apples, kegs of strong ale. There's animal feed piled near the large pen where the pigs happily root in the mud.
This is strange. I mean, so Hilda said something about one-armed Tomas. Maybe this is still his thing. Very, very much so still occupying this.
Remind me, you have a high passive insight, correct, Dust?
Yeah, at 17.
This is a lot of food. It's more than like one person would need.
Listen, his arms are bigger than mine, and I'm pretty big.
I would like to point at the livestock and say, the fuck is going on here? Well, as you know, I cannot understand how they communicate back with me. However, they did understand my...
They look at you and kind of respond and then go back to their...
Sorry, my earphone cut out. I think it's... Hang on.
I was walking my fish. Can you do that again?
Yeah. I was sanding my roof. Can you do that again?
Make me a dex saving throw.
Who, me?
Okay.
Yeah, both of you.
All right.
For pointing at the pig and saying the
23.
fuck is going on here? Oh,
Yeah.
god damn it. 4.
What'd you get, Bob? What'd you get?
4.
Nice try, but the next time I will eviscerate you. Don't fuck with me.
I had 23 though.
The DC is high. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
All right,
got
so it's true. All right, so you guys are in this livestock pen. Everybody but Dave. You hear sounds. There's a passage leading southwest, and you hear again footprints. And actually, everybody roll me a survival check as well.
Ooh.
10.
22.
16.
That's a big old nat 20 for 27.
Awesome. You guys just walked through a room of bat shit and have come into this livestock area, and you're looking down at your feet, realizing that it's all over. And as you do, you notice there is a small set of footprints. A small humanoid appears to have also passed through this room and is headed in the southwest direction.
Y'all, I think I found Thomas.
How do you know it's Thomas?
You know, small feet, big hands. Isn't that a thing?
Well, hand. Singular.
Small feet, big hand. I don't know. Maybe he lost his other arm in an accident. Livestock.
I feel bad. Maybe. Who knows? So we're going? We see footprints.
Yeah.
Obviously we're following. Yep, we're
Yeah,
going.
we'll follow.
All right.
Yeah, just watch out for one really small person and one really big person.
Cool.
And Dave does not qualify as either of those.
No. Sorry, Dave.
You guys are pressing onward, ever onward.
Yeah.
I mean, unless I can detect
Stealthily.
thoughts with the livestock, yeah.
I mean, I feel like it would just be garbledy-gook because you can't understand.
Oh, I'm not burning a slot for that.
You don't feel like having some side of garbledy-gook today?
No.
No. Okay. Let's see. All right, so you start moving out of the room, heading southwest. You arrive at yet another tunnel, leading east to west, with a large stone archway in front of you. The dwarven masonry from the previous inhabitants retains its magnificent beauty. Carved stone reliefs depict a treasure chest on the keystone with painted coins and gems flowing on either side of the archway. Go ahead and everybody give me perception checks.
Yeah.
10.
15.
5.
17 plus a number.
Everyone except for Lucifer. As you look at this archway, you notice that the keystone in the archway has 2 grooves, as though something has passed overhead enough times to wear down the stone. It's 2 fine grooves.
How tall is it?
This is a big door.
Can I get a more precise definition of big?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
stand by.
wasn't big.
I saw that eye roll.
On a scale from a halfling to a bugbear, about how big do you think it is?
On the scale from a halfling to a giant, how big is it?
Also that's a great bit of distinction.
Because that's definitely where Bob is thinking right now.
It's more like the door is 10 feet tall,
Mm-hmm.
and the grooves are higher than that
Okay.
into the keystone by like a few inches.
Has Bob ever seen a Tarrasque? And is the size of the opening enough for a Tarrasque to get through? I'm kidding.
Go ahead and roll me a history check.
Oh, shit. Okay. I need to keep these dice separate from all the others. Holy shit. 24.
Okay. I don't know why Bob, who was not meant to be here, would read up on Tarrasques.
This is my day off.
A little light reading.
But you were struck by that you once read some old legends, some old adventurer logs when you first got into the business. You were trying to get an understanding of what to expect. And you did recall that, like, reading about Ettins once, that Ettins are rather large creatures, often have multiple heads, and have some different information. And you suspect, looking at this door, knowing Hilda's story, that it seems that an Ettin just passes through here a whole bunch.
Y'all, it's a Tarrasque. We gotta go home. We're not doing this. We're done. I'm heading out.
I mean,
Oh.
are you?
Oh,
How
what now?
positive are you?
I'm pretty positive.
Can I roll an insight check to make sure I know? I got a 25.
I got a 6.
Cool.
Bob
How
is
trustworthy
being
is
Bob
this?
is being Bob.
Okay. Well, Bob, I'm pretty sure that's not a Tarrasque. I don't think it would fit in these tunnels. So good try.
Well, I mean,
Or,
you tell me
no.
what it is then.
I don't know. I heal people, dude.
Listen, I would like to. I'm pretty sure she said it was an Ettin.
Mm-hmm. That's what I heard as well.
So
That's still over my head. I've never encountered one of these things, so that's
I feel like
I don't know.
I might know a little bit about Ettins. I do speak giant, so
That's pretty cool. That's pretty solid knowledge there, Dave.
I would like to say something to Dave in Primordial to see if he knows that language. Dave, do you know Primordial?
I'll just stare at you dumbfounded.
What were those weird
What?
guttural sounds that just came out of your
Yeah.
mouth?
Bob, what did you say?
Don't worry about it. Wait, do you know Primordial?
I do know primordial.
I'll DM you.
it's my
Yep.
it's my fire genasi.
Yep.
Oh my god. Okay, so you guys are at this stone arch.
Mm-hmm.
And I need to do a correction really quick because I can see the map and like I'm struggling to articulate this. So you have it correct. Let me see. Let me bring out this. Actually, I'm gonna.
Are you gonna fix my map?
Yeah, we're gonna recalibrate some stuff here. Sorry to do that.
You're
But-
good.
You said Southwest.
Freehand.
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're good. You're good.
Lucifer chuckles at the guttural sounds that have come out of Bob's mouth.
Bob does not notice. Or does not realize that they are about him. He rolled a 4.
And then we actually have this way. So there's an exit like southwest of the room going down. The little arch is the archway to continue into the room. There is a direction to your east there as well. And there is a small hole in the wall right here. Down at the bottom, small hole.
I'll leave the small holes to Dave. And I'm assuming the arch is where the things were?
Yep, the keystone is like... Let's swap colors. Keystone's like in the top. Ooh. Keystone with grooves.
Yep.
I'm drawing this so incorrectly on my end, so thank you for the visual.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're good, you're good.
Yep. So where do we go?
Clearly through the small hole in the corner over there.
I will look at the small hole. What's in the small hole?
Let's see. Okay, yeah,
A little doorknob that says that has a face that yawns constantly.
Wow.
Sorry.
Yeah, okay. You go like, so you're at this archway and you look back and you notice the hole in the wall and you take a step to like over there, passing the door to the east. As you do, a cream pie comes flying out of that tunnel and harmlessly splats against the wall before turning into water and dripping down the wall. And you hear a gruff voice taunt you, "Come and get me, you filthy animals." You continue, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think so.
How far is that little tunnel?
It like goes up and around.
So more than 30 feet.
Yeah, you can't see around into it. A pie just came flying out.
Okay.
Go ahead, Bob. You seem pretty sure of yourself here.
Nope.
Are you still heading to that little room there on the west side?
The little
Little
room on the
hole?
west side, the little hole. I
The
mean,
little hole?
I was
Mhm.
told surely that's the way we're going, so yeah.
Okay. All right. You go down and let's see. I'm trying to read this because it's a little confusing here. Yeah, you walk over and get to like the bottom of the floor, and you take a look in to try and look. It's a small hole. It looks like it's almost as if like only a let's see. Here we go. A small tunnel measuring about 2 feet in diameter and 5 feet long. On the other side, you can make out a short, hooded figure huddled into a little ball.
Detect thoughts.
Okay. You don't get anything back.
Like, there's no thoughts, or like I'm being resisted?
There's no thoughts. There are no surface thoughts.
No thoughts, only pie.
No thoughts. No thoughts, only pie. Just huddled like...
Back to you, huddled.
Bob would like to go up and give this figure a hug.
Okay, you're gonna have to crawl through this 2 foot in diameter hole to get in there, Mr. Furbolg.
Can I see the other side?
Mm-hmm.
Is it within 30 feet?
Mm-hmm.
Does the clothing of the thing, is it reminiscent of Mr. Pieman from the slope?
It looks very similar, yes.
I will Misty step through, yeah.
Okay. You Misty step through to the other side, and you are there in the room. And I'm going to suggest...
I'd like to say I have 120 feet of Misty Step. I would Misty Step, like, to a hugging position.
over this little thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you misty step through and you reach the figure and you're huddled over it. And as you do, the figure doesn't seem to respond. It continues to sit there with its little head pressed down.
I will love it harder.
You go to actually like put your arms around and like hold it, and your hands pass through.
I will stand up and spin around, trying to find where the person is that cast this illusion.
Roll a perception check for me.
I would love nothing more. God damn it. 13.
Okay. You spin around, and as you do, you hear the twang as you move your leg wide and you trip a tripwire. Go ahead. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just gonna roll. You hear on the wall behind you a ka-chunk sound as you turn and see a large crossbow that has leveled down at you with 2 bolts aimed directly at you. Does a 15 hit?
Yeah.
How about?
It's a one-shot shield.
Okay. And that was the highest of the 2. So the 1 bolt tries to arc towards you as this crossbow unloads, one skimming across your shoulder, the other coming to slam into your chest, but you shield and it shatters on an invisible force. At your feet, there is a silent image of what appears to be a child hugging their knees with a snarky little grin. It appears to be a small orc boy.
I'm going to eat you.
The rest of the party hears from the direction where the cream pie came, so from this way. That's what the thing says. It's not my fault. You guys need to grow up.
Do we?
No. You hear more scuffling as soft footsteps retreat.
Yeah, I'm gonna go east quietly. See if I can figure out where they went.
Great. So just reading through this really quick. Just reading through this. Sorry. It like bounces back and forth for this next section. Okay. Yeah, you follow this little voice east into a room. You make your way down the twists and turns of the tunnels until you are spit out into a mouth of a large cavern. Here, the air is pungent with the stench of rotting meat and body odor. The entire area is in no danger of winning an award from Good Cave Keeping magazine. Let me make sure, is that right? There is a... There we go. Apologies. There's a... believe... Yeah. On the side of the wall, there is a shrine that sits... again, very similar to the one that you saw before. Go ahead and roll me a perception check.
3. I missed Doug.
Lucifer and Dust, what are you guys doing?
Oh gosh. Other than drawing a map, because it's fun. Yep, there we go. I'd probably where Bob like Misty stepped into, can I see in there at all?
Yeah, you can look down and you can see at the bottom, you can see Bob's feet. Like you can look, you do the exact same thing that he can do. You can crouch down low and see into the room. It seems like a closed off room. Bob is standing there, seemingly being assailed by something, and there is a small figure huddled on the ground.
Okay. And like how big is the small hole to get into this area?
It's a 2 feet diameter and 5 feet long.
Okay. Would I be able to like crouch down and kind of slink my way through it?
Yeah, go ahead and make me. I'm not gonna make you roll for that. Yeah, you're a kitty cat. You get down and you wiggle your way into that room.
You're liquid.
Yes. I fit a smoosh. Great. So I'm in there. What do I see these crossbows?
Yeah, you now
Like
see that
aim straight at
there's.
'em?
You see that there was a crossbow that tried to shoot. It is now no longer loaded. You see the telltale signs of a tripwire, and as you look around the room with your more perceptive sense, let me let's see. You observe that this appears to have been a wolf den of sorts. As you look around, you see that there are beds for different large animals, but they are empty. Let's see. I'm reading through this again. Yep. And there is that again, that little figure that's huddled on the ground. But it's just a silent image. You actually see as Bob swings a leg wide as he kind of dodges these arrows, that his leg moves through it.
Okay. Okay, great. I'm in there. Lucifer, it's not great in here, but I think we're okay. If you want to go check on Dave.
All right. And where did Dave go? Like in the general?
Went to the
Dave.
east.
Yeah, he's here.
To east. And then there's like another door.
Yeah, so there's an archway that goes directly south to through here. That's the archway with the horn grooves in it. And then there's to the east here.
I'll walk past like that east passageway and see if can I easily see Dave down there?
The tunnel's kind of wide down in, so you would have to follow it in order to see him.
I'll just kind of give a quick little shout to see if I can. Dave, are you Dave, you all right down there?
Yup.
All right. And I'm gonna move forward and see if I can see anything by the arch. Like I'm looking for like traps, any wires or pulleys or anything like that in or around the archway before I step through.
Okay. Before you step through, go ahead and roll me an investigation check.
Ooh, dirty 20.
Okay. So you're checking, you're looking around this archway, and from the front, you don't seem to notice. There's no indication that there is a trap of any kind. However, you do notice that it doesn't seem, there's something off about it still. And you get the impression that you're going to need to check it from the other side.
Okay. Is there space to walk like around it?
It's like built into.
Or is it's built into. Okay. I'm going to toss a rock through first, just like a small little stone, and I'm gonna just kind of bop it through the archway first.
You throw this little rock down through, and you actually, like, it rolls to a stop, and there's a quiet echo, and you hear in response, yeah, right, like that's gonna help you.
Hmm.
You gonna stand there all day or are you gonna come get me, you coward?
I don't want to come get you. I don't know who you are. We're just here to pick up some things and go.
Yeah, I got some things for you in here. Maybe you should just come find out.
Is it oh shoot, is it do you have a pot and a toy?
Why didn't you come in and find out? I wouldn't want to ruin the surprise.
Because I have a feeling the surprise is you're trying to hurt me and us, and we don't want to be hurt and we don't want to hurt anybody. We're just here to pick up some stuff and go back.
Well, you're gonna have to keep coming to find out, and you'll never find out if you don't catch me.
Well, we weren't paid to play games. We were just here to fetch. So,
There's no response.
oh, you kids. I'm just gonna steady myself real quick, and then I'm going to dash through to the other side of the archway as far away through it,
Okay.
away from all of that as I can.
Yeah, so you run just quickly through. Sorry, that's a bad square that I drew. You get to about right here, right? You run through, you get to the other side, and nothing happens. And as you turn and look down to the west, you are in a long chamber, and on the ground, it is littered with small wooden dragons. 25. One of them looks broken, so it's more like 24 and a half. They are all painted in different colors, red, gold, silver, and they are just lining the floor of this hall.
Okay. So as I get to the other side, then let me look back and check the other side of the gate.
So you want to go back and look at the archway, right?
So now that I'm through and nothing has assaulted me, I can I just want to look back and see what's going on with it.
Roll me a new investigation check.
Oh balls! Huzzah! Not 24, 21.
Awesome. You see, dangling on the inside of the arch on the right-hand side, there is, let me double check and make sure I read this correctly. Yes, there is a rope on the inside. And as you follow it up and along the ceiling, it comes down, I'll ping on here, it comes down over here, runs back up here, and there it ends up here, and then runs along the ceiling. And what you actually see, it's actually pretty impressive. You note that this is a pulley system, and when you pull on that rope, 5 cauldrons who are suspended above the ceiling will come arcing down, clearing out this entire chamber with a swinging push. With a crit, you're able to determine it seems that the dragons on the ground are a diversion, drawing the eye down to the floor to keep people from noticing the cauldrons up top, so someone can yank the rope, effectively capturing them unawares.
Am I able to see where I can effectively disarm?
Yeah, you're right there.
System?
You can try and disarm it from here. Just go ahead and make me a dex throw or a sleight of hand check.
Sleight of hand.
Yeah, which I believe is just a dex check. And if you are proficient in Thieves Tool, add your proficiency bonus, right? I'm remembering that rule correct?
That sounds
Well-
right.
Well, I have proficiency, but I don't actually have thieves tools. I don't know if that matters for.
I mean, you could ask the party if they have some.
I kind of want to just get rid of this now. So,
Okay.
so sorry. It just a dex check or
Sleight of hand.
specifically sleight of hand? Okay.
Yep.
That's 8.
Okay. You go to, like, you see it and you go, I gotcha now. And you go, but your hand slips and you actually end up yanking on the rope. And these cauldrons come in a cacophony, descend from the ceiling in a sweeping manner. And what you weren't aware of is, like, as they hit the end of their swing, there's like a jolt that's going to throw them to the side and actually try to nearly hit you. Go ahead and make me a dex saving throw to just jump out of the way of these last cauldrons as they descend.
Okay, that's a 19.
Yeah, you are able to dive back through the hallway and avoid this. Everyone, you hear as 5 large iron cauldrons fall from the ceiling, and you all hear as a peal of childish glee erupts from the caverns. You filthy animals! I hope you like the taste of iron.
You missed.
There is no response.
Hey, kids.
One other thing to note, there was an exit down at this end as well. Boop.
Okay. I would then, hopefully now, knowing that like this has been disarmed and it's all clear now, I'll walk through back to the corridor and wait for everybody to hopefully come back, and I'll just kind of report on my findings then.
Okay. I'm going to cut to Dave really quickly, and then we'll rejoin Bob and Dust. Dave, you're in a long chamber here, like this. For the sake of ease, it's a long, winding tunnel before it reaches there. Who has the map that Hilda provided? I think it was Dust. Okay.
Yeah, I think
Awesome.
so.
Yeah, so you're in here, and there's again on this wall right about here, there is a little shrine. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Shrine. It has, let's see, yep, and it's featuring a rough stone effigy, and there's it continues on deeper. There's an exit down here on the end. Go ahead and roll me a religion check as you approach this shrine.
14.
A 14. As you look at this, you're a bugbear, so you have you know some stuff about goblins, you know some stuff about orcs, you know a little bits and pieces, and you recognize this as an orcish shrine. You are able to tell that it seems to be to one of the orcish deities. Given the iconography, you imagine that it has something to do with conquest and strength. But you can hear soft sounds further down this way.
I will continually stealthily go south then.
Okay, go ahead and roll me a stealth check.
14.
Okay, Dust and Bob, you are now in this small room. There is the silent image of a young orc boy grinning cheekily on the ground. What would you like to do?
So this was a trap rune, right, my dude? Just come in here and be tricked by a silly little kid and almost die because crossbows, right?
Well, I mean, if I was gonna, yeah, probably.
Yeah. Like, it looks like wolves used to live in here, but I don't really think that's the case anymore. Unless it is. Not anymore. I'm gonna get out of here now. I'm gonna crawl through. I'll see you on the other side. Okay, bye.
What if I can't get out the way I came in?
Crawl through. It's easy. I'm doing it. See, look at I'm doing it.
I'm
Why
a
can't you do it?
furbolg, and I'm. GM, I'd like to look for other exits to this room, please.
Yeah, there are none.
Yeah.
I can't even like look for a secret door or anything.
Go ahead and roll me a perception.
If I roll a 20, you're gonna put a door in a wall, please. I did not, however. It was you said perception?
Yes.
What does a 10 get me?
There are no other. There is one way in, one way out. And
All
you
right.
perceive that you're best be getting on your little tum-tum and just army scooching your way out, baby.
So can I actually fit through a 2-foot by 2-foot hole, though?
It is going to require some checks.
And I hope you're not claustrophobic.
Toll.
And yeah, coming out of this, you are going to gain the claustrophobic tag.
But on the bright side, it was a wolf's den, so you could just take a nap.
No, I'm just gonna miss. Well, no, I'm gonna wait for Dust to get all the way out, and then I will Misty step my way back out.
Okay. You were able to do that successfully.
Oh, couldn't crawl through the hole there? Giant man? Couldn't do it?
Why are you taunting the guy who murdered bees?
I would like to cast Light on Dust.
Okay. Dust, would you like to save?
Yes. Yeah, this feels weird. I know what this is. I don't like it.
Go ahead and roll the was it a dex save or
dex save? Yeah.
Tight. 14.
I'm gonna use my portent as a School of Divination wizard to make that a 7.
Oh no.
Sick.
And yeah. How about don't talk shit?
Don't. Okay.
Talk shit, get lit. You know what I mean?
You now have a glow tabaxi in your inventory. Please add that accordingly.
This is weird.
If
I
you
feel
can
violated.
if you can just lead on, Light Bright.
Light, right?
Sure, no problem. Yeah, totally.
Lucifer, you were able to see them as they emerge, and this little exchange occurs as you're on the other side of this archway. The clanging of... I like to think it's like as you guys are having this back and forth, that's when the cauldrons descend from the ceiling, and you just do that like terrified turn as Lucifer dives out, and you hear the childish giggles taunting you.
I'm gonna eat that fucking child.
You can eat my shorts.
If you're wearing them when I eat you, yeah.
See, you guys were getting on me for like wanting to help him with his arm situation, and now he's claiming to want to eat a child. How is this not a similar, if not even worse thing? You know what? I'm not even going to question it. No.
Honestly, because right now this kid's got it coming. So yeah, no, I'm with you. I'll help you fry him and get real nice, real good bake on that little shit.
GM, I got a question.
With cooking utensils, and I have them on me.
Oh, nice. Hey, if I cast light on Dust, and then I also cast light on Dust's clothing,
how many instances of light can you have at one time?
It's not concentration.
It replaces itself.
Oh, does it?
Yeah.
You can only have it on one thing at a time. I honestly thought it said that you couldn't cast it on someone. It's only a certain size.
No, you can cast it on. You can cast it on a person.
All right. Sorry. Thank you.
All good. All good.
I don't often play a caster that has light. Sorry.
Yeah, you're
No, you don't.
all good. Yeah, you. So no, we're gonna cut to Dave as this powwow occurs. Dave, you hear rustlings further in. Are you gonna continue on?
Yes.
All right, your stealth check is sufficient for now. You continue on, and it appears to be, and again, you're a bugbear, so you've noted the orc shrine. You continue on, and you enter into a large room. It shows clear signs of being lived in. It features a throne-like chair made of bones and sinew near a fire that burns in the center. Gruesome war trophies are piled on either side of the chair. And beyond, on the easternmost wall, cots are arranged in clusters. The trophies include skulls and bones, cave bear paws, dwarf beards, dire wolf hides, and a chipped glass eye. They all seem to be disrepaired. You're not going to get money from any of these. They clearly only have sentimental value. What would you like to do?
I don't see anybody.
You don't see anything. Would you like to roll a perception check to try and
Yeah.
perception or investigation, either or.
I'm better at investigation. Yeah. I'll take a look at the throne and the trophies and see if there's another way out as well. That's a 16.
Awesome. A 16. You look at the throne, and it's obvious that this is where a war chief would sit. It's very apparent to you that this is a place of honor. And you continue to look around the room. You look at the cots, and you're checking underneath, and you see underneath one of the cots, there's a small dirt lump under one of the cots, as if something has been buried there.
Well, obviously I had to look and see what's there.
Awesome. Yeah, so you move the cots to the side. Do you have a shovel or what are you planning on doing here?
I got bare hands.
Okay. You sit there and begin to dig at the dirt to uncover this. Let's see. Great. Awesome. I'm gonna cut over to Bob, Dust, and Lucifer as you guys are doing, or as Dave is digging under this cot with his hands. What are you guys doing?
Can anyone see where Dave went? Bob, did you happen to see where Dave kind of skittered off to?
I just got here.
I know, but before you decided to do the whooshy thing into that room, did you by chance see where Dave decided to go and bombard into?
Did I see that?
Dust has high enough perception. As she asks this question, you hear the sound as Dave is dragging cots across the stone ground.
Oh, cool. Yeah, definitely that way. Okay, never mind. Let's go that way. Hell yeah, we found him.
I feel like I would try to do it quietly. Thank you very much. I can pick up 1,200 pounds.
You pick it up and he hurls it across the room. I'm just kidding.
There you go. That's more like it.
Okay, yeah, you guys go in and you enter into this area where there is an orc shrine, and you can hear scraping sounds, or I guess bugbear paws unearthing sounds, whatever that might be.
Yes, 3 enter, 1 leaves is the situation we're in right now.
Oh, yes.
Let's go, Dave. You and me.
Y'all fighting? Do I need to get some popcorn or something? Is this what's happening here?
Just trying to alleviate the tension.
Well, that's fair.
I'm digging right now.
Do you need help digging? I'm pretty good at it.
don't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Well,
I mean, it's mounded. I feel like it can't be that deep.
As you,
I mean, I feel like I just walked into the room and there's a bugbear just digging.
Yes.
Bob is confused. Bob is just kind of looking at everything and not really doing much of anything, because...
Yep. Dave, you are digging away, and eventually your claws meet the satisfying, like, thump of a wood chest. As you do, you pull out a small wooden chest, and inscribed on the side are rudimentary runes. They look kind of like the runes that you saw on the door, but they're not quite the same. Do any of you speak or understand Orcish?
no.
Does Orcish share an ancestral link to Primordial?
It does not.
Then no, I don't speak Orcish.
Nope.
Okay, great. Yeah, you have this wooden chest. What would you like to do?
Is it locked?
Yeah, I mean, you
I'm gonna
try to.
I'm gonna try to open it and see if it's locked.
Yeah, you open it, and inside there are miniature figures of warriors and wooden weapons of Orcish make, and a few dwarven dolls inside. And as you open it, you look, as it's clear that you've unearthed a child's toy box. You hear from behind you a loud, like, clanging sound, and a loud, heavy footstep that kind of shakes the walls around you. And then you hear a childish giggle peeling out above everything else. It goes, "You're in for it now, suckers!" And I suggest we take a break right there.
Would you like to send us off, or do you want me to?
Imagine that I said something very clever and very snarky, but mostly I will be back in, like, I don't know, sometime.
Clever.
Yes, right. Well, hi, we're back. You guys heard the deafening sounds of large footsteps. Words are hard sometimes. Approaching, as as you guys are in this room. Dave, you have a chest of toys in your hands. Everyone else is just standing about this room as the sound of violence grows ever nearer. What would you like to do?
I would like to put the box down and head towards the footsteps stealthily and try to remember if Ettins are aggressive or not.
Okay. You're not able to make it very far. You put the chest down, you stand up, and you go to leave the room. And as you do, you see into the room with the shrine. And around the corner comes a small figure with a hood up. It looks up and sees you and pulls the hood back with a cheeky grin. And you see a smirking face of an orc about 8 years old. His straw-colored hair is ruffled up. And it looks like he just woke up. He grins at you, his teeth flashing in the light, and he goes, "Oh, you thought you could come in here and steal our stuff? But we'll show you, won't we, Thomas?" And as he walks in, a large, hulking Ettin follows behind. There are 2 heads on each side, one body. This particular body does have 2 arms, but it's kind of moving independent of each other, and the 2 heads seem to be kind of arguing with each other over some kind of scruple. "But I wanted to have the deer for dinner." "No, we had deer yesterday. I want beef, goddammit." As it is following this small little orc boy who is grinning at you mischievously.
How far away are they?
they're at the end of this room. I'm going to say the room itself is probably like 30 feet long. There's nowhere to run now, you dirty thieves, coming to our house while my dad's gone. How'd you like my traps?
They were super fun. Good traps there. Deadly, and I'm just gonna say fun again.
So we're in a room, and they're in the hallway coming towards us.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I would like to move out of the sight of the hallway within 20 feet of the doorway.
Okay.
So, like, if the doorway is here, I'd like to make it so they couldn't see me,
Okay.
but I
I'm
want to
gonna-
be within 20 feet of the door.
I'm gonna draw. So this is like, So they're coming in here. They're on this end.
Mm-hmm.
You're saying you want to come like here?
Yeah, left or right, either way.
Okay, you're backing into the room. Okay.
And
So
then
you
being,
okay?
yeah.
You do that. The small orc looks at you, Dust. They weren't supposed to be fun. They were supposed to keep you from stealing our stuff. Who are you anyway?
We are here to retrieve something that doesn't belong to you. So we're not really trying to take your stuff. We're trying to take something back that didn't belong to you guys in the first place. So, like, if you could just tell us where that is, that would be fantastic, and we can go along our way.
What the heck are you even talking about?
So there's a box with, like, you know, what is it? I have it written down. Hang on.
I think it's an anvil. A couple stars.
6 stars.
Yeah, an anvil with 6 stars and an arc above it. Have you seen anything like that in this here cave system?
As you say that, you look up and you notice that on his little cloak on the right-hand side, there is an embroidered anvil with 6 stars.
That, okay, I think that, buddy, that's not yours. Can we have that, please? I can trade you for stuff. What are you doing with that?
What kind of stuff you got?
I mean, I've got food. I'm good with that. I can just throw a bunch of food at you. Have you
I
ever
already got
wanted...
that. And he reaches into the cloak and pulls out a banana cream pie and kind of holds it poised on his fingers tips.
Well, okay, so you're good on that. What do you say to this? And Dust will pull out a human skull. What do you think about this?
At first, his eyes light up, and there's a moment of interest. And then he realizes that it's a skull, and he goes, "We got a bunch of dwarf skulls all over this place."
But there's stuff in it.
What kind of stuff?
Do you want to see?
Go ahead and roll me persuasion.
Cool.
Yeah, Dust, what kind of stuff? You just been carrying that thing around with you the whole time?
Yeah, I mean, that's only a 9 there. But, yeah. There you go.
Behind Kevin, the Etten has seemed to have stopped its argument about what they'll be having for dinner, and has turned their attention to the conversation, and will look down at the little boy. The head on the right will look down at the little boy and go, "Yeah, Kevin, what are we doing? We're trying to take a nap." And the little orc boy will look up and go, "I'm trying to get these thieves out of our house, okay? Dad left, and they left without me, and I'm doing my best, okay? I just want to keep the lair safe, and I'm doing a really good job, and you're going to help me." And the one on the left goes, "I mean, that sounds like a pretty good deal to me. You know what I mean?" Kevin is distracted from your skull now, and no longer seems interested.
Well, there's some cool stuff in here. I'll just put it away for now. But if you ever want to see the contents of this skull, you just let me know there, little buddy.
I would like to use my Medallion of Thought for the last time of 3 charges today. and cast
Okay.
Detect Thoughts.
Okay.
Specifically on Kevin, but I also want to know what the Etten is thinking. Both heads.
Okay. Yeah, so you hear, like, enter into this little kid's mind. And the first surface thought that you actually get, the highest thought on his mind, he is terrified of this creature behind him. He is terrified. You get this feeling of, oh man, Rook told me that Thomas killed a whole bunch of dwarves, and he's terrified. However, you also get this strong sense of like, must defend the home. Like it's kind of alternates back and forth in like this little kid's mind of like, this is terrifying. I'm so scared. I'm so scared. Must defend the home.
I'd like to push.
Okay, I make a wisdom save?
Yes.
That is not going to do it because he rolled a 2.
Oh, I don't have to use my other portent? That's great. I would like to know what happened to this kid's family.
Okay, yeah, you dive in another layer, and he's like, I must defend the home until Dad gets back. And then I'm so upset. Dad and everybody went on a raid, and they left without me. They just I was sleeping in one of the hidden rooms, and they just left without me. Like, it's clear that the orcs that lived here have gone out on a raid, and Kevin was simply left behind.
Can I push again?
Yeah, I'll allow it. I'm pretty sure that's a good thing. I rolled a 12.
Yeah, my DC is 14, so no.
Okay.
What's his favorite food?
Pepperoni pizza.
I would like to cast Prestidigitation to create a small illusory image of pepperoni pizza.
A personal-sized pepperoni pizza.
Pan-sized, yeah.
You do this. You got a little pizza there in your hand there, Bob.
I mean,
as
Dust, we can offer this to him.
Yeah. I think that's a worthy offering for anyone, especially him. Yeah.
You have the pan, too. Like, I don't need the pan it's in. You can keep that.
Kevin is kind of shirking away from the end behind it, but like doing that like tough little kid act where he's, like trying to step out of the way and okay, like he's clearly getting more and more nervous as this goes on. The Etten was going to take a couple of steps forward towards each of you. And you will see that this Etten is, let's see, I gotta find where it is. Where is this? Yep. Did it do? This Etten is massive. It's covered in a thick crust of dirt on their skin. It's greasy hair, yellowed, crooked teeth and tusks, and half-rotting hides hang from their shared body. The one on the right kind of cocks ahead and goes, what are your names? And the one on the left goes, yeah, what are your names? We like to know the names before we eat them.
Oh, you're not gonna like mine. Sorry. It's dust of chalk. It's gonna be a kind of a dry texture for you, so just gonna apologize in advance for that one.
You said they moved closer. How far away are
Not
they now?
much closer. They're probably, like, if you guys are all right here by the door, they're probably right by the shrine. Like, it's just a couple of steps.
He's big.
He's big. He is D&D size. He's large.
Right. Is he within 20 feet?
Of you, not quite yet.
Okay. That's what I'm waiting for.
Okay.
And I'm not going to respond.
What's Lucifer doing?
Lucifer's trying to figure all this out. Yeah, he's kind of actually going to go with Dave on this one and just kind of stand his ground. And
Okay.
If logic dictates that if he doesn't say his name, then they can't eat because that's their preference. So,
The head on the right looks at the head up on the left and goes, Masters, they don't look like the ones that we ate before.
No, they don't look like the ones we ate before. These look different. They're not so small.
And he will look down. The head on the left will look down. Mass will look down at Kevin.
How they, what, you want us to eat them? I'm confused.
And Kevin is just kind of terrified. Bob and Dust, what do you want to do?
Pizza?
You hold out the pizza.
Yeah. Is Kevin responding at all?
Is it a hot cheese pizza?
I mean, clearly it would be because I know what he wanted.
Very good. Kevin will look at you and raise a brow and go, and you, like, you still have detect thoughts up, right? You can kind of feel, or does it go away after you do the deep
No, it's a
dives?
minute. It's a minute for detect thoughts, and prestidigitation is not concentration. So yeah, I do.
Okay, awesome. You hear kind of like a like excited. It's clear that the orc family has been gone for a while, and Kevin is in fact getting hungry. So you have this pizza. He'll look at you shrewdly.
Where'd you get that pizza?
I can make the pizza whenever I want.
You can make pizza whenever you want.
Yeah. That's the that's the amazing thing about being an adult is you can make whatever you want and eat whatever you want whenever you want.
Okay, all right. Can you make me some pizza? Is that my pizza?
You can have this pizza, yeah. And I don't know how the illusion works exactly, but I would like to set it down.
Okay. I'm gonna say, drop it in the chat so I can make sure, because I'm a fan of being able to set it down, but I want to make sure I
Yeah, I don't know
understand
if
the
it
limitation. I don't think he can, which I kind of love that you just have his pizza stuck to your hand.
Yeah, so yeah, no, I can't do this. It's definitely gone. I'll put it in the thing, but it's definitely just in my hand. And like my hand, if my hand has moved at all, the pizza has stayed exactly where it was.
Okay, so you have to do this. You have to hold this illusionary pizza.
Yeah.
Okay. Kevin is 8, so he is not like super observant, and he is distracted by the smell of a hot cheese pizza. He's going to. Are you guys burglars?
No.
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 Okay.
I swear to fucking God, Dave, if you don't say no, I will.
Dave is just sitting there watching that.
I will find a door and I will force you to open it.
Okay. Well, I only get pizza when Mom and Dad raid that one village that's really far away. And I guess if you're not burglars, I don't really have to protect it against you.
I mean, pizza comes from many different places.
It does.
Yeah, I mean, you can get pizza from Village. You can get pizza. There's this little place that it's run by this this island people. There's this guy who, like, the town around him, like, all calls him Papa.
That's weird.
Yeah.
I don't like that one.
Yeah, it's not the best.
Yeah, sounds like it sucks.
Yeah. There's this one, like, they're all known for making pizza in the same kind of houses. And they all have this, like, red, like, peaked roof on top.
What kind pizza is that kind?
I mean, it's just pizza. You can have whatever kind of pizza you want. They'll make it for you. I mean, if
roll persuasion with advantage because you have something that he wants.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, if you want me to take you around and teach you the ways of the pizza, I'm your dude. But probably not. Probably not with a 7.
With advantage?
4 and a 6 plus 1.
Oh no.
And my other portent was a nat 1.
Oh no. Yeah, Kevin is getting antsy. Like, he likes the idea of he likes this. It's great. But the Etten is there. He's getting stressed out. So he's actually going to shrink over to the side of the wall and look at you and say, well, listen, I can just get pizza when my mom and dad get back because I've been doing a really good job of keeping burglars from burgling stuff. So, like, I don't need your weird pizza, your pocket pizza, whatever you brought, because that's, like, weird. I've never seen pizza that could fit in a pocket before. I like that. It's probably tastes weird. So, unless you just are gonna, like, leave or whatever, I'm gonna let Tom and Mass eat you.
Do any of you have any other ideas?
Well, now, so we were sent here to, look for something, not to steal, just to retrieve. But if that thing didn't actually belong to that person, then yes, I suppose that would be stealing, and we didn't come here to steal, so we don't want to do that. So I guess what I'm asking you, kid, is how long have you guys been here?
Well, I mean, we've always been here. This is our home. I guess Thomas, and he's gonna actually, the kid is gonna scoot closer to you as you're asking this question to get away from the Etten, who is now with one hand picking one of the noses, and the other one is, like, got a small pocketbook out and seems to be leafing through something, like, with its thumb, like its each arm is independently acting to the head's needs, but it seems kind of clued out right now, not really interested in what's happening.
TikTok, right?
TikTok. Kevin's gonna kind of come up close to you and go, Rook says that Thomas murdered a bunch of the people that were living here before with a mining axe, and then ate him. And he's gonna look at you, Lucifer, and goes, he said that his favorite food is children. I had to go get him because I thought you were burglars. Okay? And you got past all my traps.
They were pretty good. I've never seen more impressive traps in my life. I mean, we definitely fell for a lot of them, and you did a really good job.
Yeah, I did.
So, and Lucifer's gonna, Lucifer's, crouching down to get, on this kid's level. And he's just gonna kind of be like, so like, I guess we just wanted to pick up some stuff, and we don't want to cause any trouble or anything. And honestly, we also don't want to see anybody get hurt or eaten. And if anybody was going to be eaten, I feel like they would have some kind of a word or something else that they would do. Like when you were looking at that pizza, you'd probably go, I'm gonna eat that pizza or something, right? And the pizza might be like, oh gosh, right? So like,
Okay.
if we're getting scared that we're probably gonna get eaten, we would probably say something like, oh gosh, that's what you say. So like, I mean, you would probably say that too, right?
He looks at the Etten and kind of back to you.
I guess. You said you were here looking for stuff? What kind of stuff?
Well, we just had, some people that were here, whatever, claim to have left some things, and we just got like well, honestly, we can probably leave the rest of this stuff, and I think it was
this is
just
my
a
stuff.
pot or a pan or something like that somebody left over. Do you need you don't need a pot or a pan, right? That this is actually like the player not remembering if it was a pot.
Yeah. No, it was a pot. Yeah.
A pot. Okay.
Kevin's gonna he'll roll his shoulders back.
I mean, I found some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go ahead and roll me persuasion to see how. Like
Kevin's
you guys
right
have
next to
continued.
us now.
Yeah, Kevin's Kevin's moved further in.
And how far away is the Atten again?
Etten's by the shrine. Kevin's gonna be like here-ish talking to Lucifer.
Okay. You keep going. Let me know.
I don't know. It was like some pretty cool stuff.
And you'll notice as he kind of like pulls the cloak that he has on tighter around himself.
Like, has like some fun, cool stuff that it can do, I guess. But listen, I can let you go. I can let you out, and you can just get out of here and promise never to come back. Pinky promise, never to come back. And then we can go about our business. That's what my dad says sometimes. Is sometimes you just need to go about your business.
Sure.
Totally
And-
valid.
You like I said, you keep all of this stuff and everything like that. It's mostly just that pot that we were wondering about, and people like us also like to help people out as well. And if there was anybody that was in trouble, we'd want to help them.
Well, I'm not in trouble. I will be in trouble if Dad gets home and sees that you guys are here. Then he'll know I did a bad job. I didn't do a bad job. I did a great job.
Oh, you did a great job. There's a good.
Totally got you.
The honey
Totally got you with
thing
that honey. Yeah,
inspired.
that pot of honey that I totally got you with. Yeah.
I don't
that
know
was
where you
funny.
found so many bees, but that was rough.
Yeah.
It's
They're
a lot of
endangered, you know.
Oh well. Yeah, they probably are still. That probably hasn't changed at all.
Yeah, I read about it in a book once.
Real quick question, GM.
Yeah.
So Kevin just said, a thing about like not being scared or whatever. What did Kevin just say?
That he's not in trouble?
Yeah, that he's not in trouble. Specifically in response to Lucifer asking, like, prompting, hey, we'll help you out with this dude.
Yeah.
Right? I've been in his head, and I know he's scared of this thing. So is that enough to know that he's lying, or do I need to roll an insight check?
I would require an insight check.
Okay. Can I make an argument that I've been in his head and I pushed and I succeeded to get advantage at least, or?
Yeah, I will allow it.
I'm fine with just
I'll say it's going to be a lower DC. It's going to be a lower DC.
So straight roll, lower DC. Mother. 10.
Dice Joe.
What'd you get?
10.
Oh, that was the DC. Perfect. Meets it beats it. So you would know, yes, he is terrified of this thing behind him. But he's like a very like, I'm so clever kind of a kid. And you get the impression that he thinks that he can run and hide. Like he's and you also know that there have been secret doors, and clearly this kid has been getting from point A to point B a lot faster than you guys. You're able to kind of figure out that he is scared of this thing, but he's not in trouble.
While Lucifer is a front person talking to Kevin, I would try to communicate that to Dust and Dave.
Okay. Go ahead and tell me what that looks like. Resolve that.
Can I go now then? Can I? All right. With that, Dave's gonna step within 25 feet of the Etten.
Okay.
And attack using my maneuver. Gotta find which one it's called. Lunge attack. So when I make a melee attack on my turn, I can expend one superior die and add the total damage. The roll increases the attack by 5 feet. As a bugbear, it's automatically 5 more feet, and I'm using a glaive, which is another 5 feet.
Oh my God.
I am hitting him 25 feet away with my glaive.
Okay. How are you not hitting anything in between you and it?
Because it's a glaive and I can reach over him. I'm 8 foot tall.
Okay.
And he's a giant.
Fair and valid. Roll the hit. Consider this Etten surprised as it was enjoying the latest TikTok.
Ladies and gentlemen, Akechi.
So I will attack, and when I attack, I get to attack twice for my extra attack. So the first one is a 16.
A 16 will hit.
And the next one is a 17.
That will hit.
And the first one damage will be 16 damage.
Okay.
The second one will be 10. And then I get to, since he's surprised, I get to add 2d6, which is another 6. So that is going to be 32 points of damage to the Etten.
Okay.
At 25 feet away.
Okay, everybody else, go ahead and roll me initiative.
I was really hoping that, like, he just one-shot this thing in the dick by, like, stabbing it.
I really did. Oh, wait. No, because I can still do that. I'm going to action surge.
Okay, go again. Yeah, so go for it. Go hard.
Attack it twice. Action surge is 2 attacks.
Hold on. Since I'm going to action surge as a bonus action.
Okay.
No, hold on. I got other things. Let me see real quick. No, I won't. Where is it? Okay, no, never mind. I'll just action surge and then attack twice more.
Okay, do it.
13 and a 28.
They will both hit.
And that will be another 21 points of damage.
21. Okay, so 53 damage total.
That sounds about right.
All right. Cool. I am still going to need everyone to roll initiative. However, with that level of just, like, Kevin is talking to Lucifer. Tom is picking his nose. Moss is starting to stretch, and it's like, he's looking around the rooms. Like, Mass is looking around the room, like, kind of getting over it, and is starting to be like, you know what, fuck this. Like, I'm gonna, like, come at you guys. And he goes up to, like, reach behind to get his weapon, and you come out from behind the door with your glaive and just bring it down hard. You cut his arm off. We're just gonna definitively say, you, with that amount of damage, you just immediately cut this guy's arm off. And Mass starts screaming. Tom starts laughing. And goes, now I really am the only one with an arm, you stupid fuck.
I forgot something. I did use my lunge. On that was not supposed to happen. Hold on. I used my lunge, so I had to use 2 dice. And it is D8, and it is added to the damage. So another 9.
So 60... What is that?
62.
62?
Yeah.
Okay, he's still up. All right, so Ash, what is your initiative?
Oh God, 15. Yeah, 15.
Okay, Joe, what is your initiative?
Nat 20 for 22.
Oh,
God damn. Saint.
19 for a 21, you son of a bitch.
Roll a 16.
16. For a catchy. Let me roll for my guy really quick. This poor dumb soul.
He's preying on
a
children.
13. He got a 13. All right. So Mass reels back screaming as his heavy arm hits the ground. Kevin slaps his hands to his cheeks and screams as this happens. Lucifer, you are up first.
If you haven't gotten it by now, you should have gotten it by now. You don't know, now you know. I'm really gonna, I gotta do this. So, I'm gonna, I'm going to look at Kevin really quick and just say, it looks like we're gonna help you out with this. I'm gonna want that pot. And then he's gonna run over. How far away am I from the
You are within plenty of room. Like, we're like,
all right,
distances,
then,
let's not worry about it. Unless we're talking like fireball, and then we'll maybe worry about it.
No, because I'm coming up and I'm going to take a couple swipes
awesome.
from this thing with this fun uncommon weapon that I found.
Yeah.
Woof. That's gonna be a woof.
Okay. So we got a miss, but you still have another attack.
16.
16 will hit.
Okay. And that second one's 5 piercing damage.
Okay.
When I draw this weapon, if I'm walking past you, you got to be real close. But if you're really close to it, you can just kind of hear. And please make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh,
wicked cool.
Because my guy's really, really good at these things.
He seems like it.
Okay, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Is this blinded, charmed, deafened, frightened, stunned at all? Is it any of those things?
No.
Okay.
Question mark? No.
Then he got a 13.
Oh, that saves. Okay.
Okay.
And just the 5 piercing damage.
Okay. Bonus action. Would you like to do anything?
Yeah, I'll do a.
Could flurry of blows.
You know
do
what?
2 more
Actually,
attacks. Unarmed.
Hang on. Joe, how important is that to work for you?
It's fun, but it's not like.
Okay.
I don't know. It'd be interesting.
It's a one-shot, Saint.
I'm gonna use my portent. That was a 1.
You crit failed. What happens? What happens, Lucy?
They must succeed on that wisdom saving throw or suffer the effects of the spell Tasha's Hideous Laughter for 1 round.
If I remember correctly, it means they just spend their turn.
They perceive everything as hilariously funny and falls into fits of laughter. The target must succeed on a wisdom saving throw or fall prone, becoming incapacitated and unable to stand up for the duration.
Yeah, so...
Oh, wait a minute. Okay, but here's the other part. What is their intelligence score?
6.
A creature with an intelligence score of 4 or less isn't affected.
Okay. That's a close shave, my guy. Whoop-a-doof.
I feel
Okay,
like
yeah.
this is very intimidating, though. He just lost an arm and now he's just laughing.
Well, no, here's what it is.
Like, oh,
Here's what
fuck.
it is. Max's arm got cut off. Tom is laughing at this. He thinks it's hilarious, and he's gonna say, "You look like such an ass." And as he's laughing, it's almost as if it's contagious. As Lucifer comes in and stabs into the side, you watch his Max's face is just like hurt and angry, but then he just goes, it's kind of fucked up that you're laughing about this, and this is not in my greatest need. And they are just going to both be laughing their heads off, falling down to the ground. Tom is slapping the one remaining arm on the ground as Mass can't see, and tears are streaming down his face. Let's resolve your bonus action. What would you like to do?
Sure. Just to clarify that though, end of each of its turns, and each time it takes damage, you can make another wisdom saving throw.
Understood.
The target has advantage on the saving throw if it's triggered by damage.
Okay, understood.
But now that it has just kind of fallen prone, and it is
Yeah. And it looks fucked up, my dude. It looks
goofy.
not good. It looks not good. It looks hurt, real bad.
Let me check this again.
Kevin is still screaming.
Then yeah, I guess I can use the another key point to use that radiant sunbolt.
Go for it.
23,
That will hit.
and that's 5 radiant damage,
Okay.
and that means they can try to make another wisdom save.
2. It's not gonna happen. All right. We are
Okay,
moving
fine.
on to Saint. It is now your turn. You have a laughing, on fire, de-armed Etten on the ground, a small orc child who is being actively traumatized. What would you like to do?
It looks rough. It's not looking great. Big
Yeah, no,
troll.
it looks approximately 13 hit points from the grave.
Lightning bolt.
Okay.
That is an attack, I believe. Yeah.
Yep. And
No, it's a dexterity saving throw.
but I'm prone, so I automatically fail.
Oh, do you?
So
Hang
I didn't
on.
know
How
that.
funny.
Hang on. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Hang on. 16, 17, 18, 19. Plus, that's 25 points of lightning damage as I point.
You put your hand out, and through the cackling and the laughter, Lucifer, you can hear as Mass turns his head to the other and goes, "And when this is over, I'm gonna fucking kill you." And Tom goes, "And now, please describe how you rip this creature from existence."
Yeah, so the finger just comes from the sky and shaking,
like straight up WWE style, coming down slowly and pointing. And an arc of lightning bolts out and pulses several times, almost like Emperor Palpatine. And as the crackle fizzles out of the air and the kind of smoke of the electricity settles, Bob will say, "Come to the caves. We'll get together, have a few laughs." That's it.
Kevin faints, and you are no longer in initiative.
Oh, poor little guy.
Congratulations, you murdered an Eden.
Cool. I take the cloak off of the kid.
If you
Okay.
weren't gonna do it, I was gonna do it.
Yeah, you
fucking
remove
yoink
you remove that, and you also, as you do, there's like it's different pockets, and out of one of the pockets falls a small stuffed teddy bear with tusks, like an orc. And as you pick it up, that you accidentally squeeze it a little bit too hard, and you hear like a soft little like crackle, like a sound, and then you hear a gruff voice that says, "Get out of here, you filthy animals!" And then the as it stops.
Is this a Build-A-Bear? Like
Yes,
a little
this is.
recording device.
It's a freaking
Yeah,
Teddy
this-
Ruxpin.
Yes, it is a Teddy Orkin toy.
Teddy Orcs, yeah.
Adorable.
Yep.
You will also find a small notebook on his person, but you open it, it's just more orcish runes scribbled inside. You seem to have found he has his diary with him.
Does the script have any commonality with Primordial?
No, it does not.
He really enjoys struggling to come up with the fantasy version of anime, so I'm just going to leave that there. Never mind.
Okay.
Dust is gonna go over to this body of this Etten, pull out a scroll from like underneath her vestments or whatever, pop open the top of this skull with a little cork, and dip a pen into, and write the name of Tom Mass onto this scroll. Dump a little bit of some ash from the skull onto the scroll and just kind of wipe it clean. Okay,
Great.
very good.
Dave, Lucifer, what are you guys doing?
I guess I'd probably go back in the room that we were in and see if we can find the other two items, the pot and
Okay.
the toys, which I think might have, well, that one you said had non-dwarvish runes on it, so I don't think those toys were what they were.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah,
Uh,
looking for the other two items.
Anybody who's looking for the magic items in this room, go ahead and roll me an investigation check. Lucifer, is that all you're up to?
Yeah, I think that's what I'd be doing too at this point.
I got the cloak.
21.
A 21. Okay, awesome. Yeah, you guys start upending this room. You start looking everywhere. You're moving stuff around, and eventually you reach the throne chair, and you notice, Dave, you kind of bump it as you walk by, and it's like it wobbles a little bit weird, like one of the side feet is like held up by something, and as you look, you notice that the platform it's on, it's like a slab over a hole. So you're able to just yeet that throne off and push that stone slab back. And inside you find an actual treasure chest emblazoned with the anvil and 6 stars. And as you open it up, it is full of treasure. This is very clearly valuables, and there's various magical items, each emblazoned with these different things. There is no pot. As you guys spend some time doing this, what are you doing with Kevin? You've removed him of the cloak. what have you done? Like, is he just kind of still on the ground there?
I would put him on one of the beds in this room. One of the cots. You said there was like a bunch of beds in this room. So yeah, I would go place him over there and make sure he's like comfortable and not in an awkward position.
Awesome. You spend your time and you found this treasure chest. You're in the process of getting it up. Kevin will wake up from his self-induced hysteric meltdown, and he'll sit up and see that you guys have found the treasure. His eyes will well with tears, and he'll go, "Oh, you are burglars!" And he's gonna start crying. He'll put his hand, and you killed Ed, and my dad's gonna be so mad, but I was really scared.
Well, I can still confirm that, one, we are not burglars. We're here to retrieve things that were not yours or your family's. Two, this guy was not, he wasn't good, so not doing you any
really
favors.
Scary. I had a lot of nightmares about him eating my feet.
You know what you can do, little buddy, is you can tell your dad that you took care of this on your own. He might even be proud of you and be like, wow, look at all these awesome traps that you set. Clearly they all worked in deterring people, and this horrible monster is gone. He'd be so proud of you.
You think?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, but it'll only work if you guys aren't here.
Okay, then we should probably go, huh?
Well, we need the pot still.
Everybody roll me a history check.
I have a feeling I understand where this pot was, but here we go. 17.
17 will do it.
20 for 21.
22.
Nice.
We'll handle the 22 first. Bob, you recall hearing Kevin say when he was being complimented on his traps, yeah, it was really great with that pot of honey. Lucifer, from your vantage point of the trap, you did see that there was a pot that descended from the ceiling, dumping honey as it fell. Dust, you recall the loud clanging sound of a pot from that trap. And you suspect, while it's not here, and there are very many items here, that perhaps the thing that you're looking for has already been found.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Out of character, I thought we grabbed that.
No, you ran out of the
we
room
ran
like a little
away.
bit.
Definitely will go back and get that. You, kid, can just sit here, and we'll be on our way, I guess.
Go reset your traps, protect this place for another day. You're doing great. You scared the pants off of us, so good job on that. You should be very proud. And we're gonna hightail it out of here. Just tell your dad that you took care of this on your own, and you're gonna be promoted and given a raise in your allowance, and maybe.
Hey, who dug up my toys? And that was supposed to be hidden. As he once again devolves, realizing that his toy chest has been dug up from under the cot.
Listen,
We're gonna go.
Yeah, if it was like a time capsule thing, just add some stuff to it and then bury it again.
I don't know what those words mean. I'm A.
Bury it.
I'll just look at him and push the chest back in the thing, and then pick up the chair one-handed and put it back on the thing, just dead-eyely, and then leave.
Kevin's gonna fall back and roll over. I wish I was never part of this family. As he cries into his pillow.
I will point.
I hope
at
you
Kevin.
get good pizza sometime soon. Okay, bye.
You point at Kevin.
And I will cast message.
And you cast message. What do you say?
Heaven forbid your whole family travel by coach in the near future.
He like looks up at you, confused. And then just like rolls back over, tucking himself under the covers. And is consoling himself. You guys are able to leave.
Before we go, I'm gonna give him. I'm just gonna leave 4 darts.
Okay. Do you just like go to the end of the bed and like leave them there?
Yeah, I'll just like if there's like someplace or whatever, just somewhere, just leave them, and yeah,
you'll
I'll just be like,
see he like looks at you from like under like that little kid way where they're crying for attention.
Mhm.
He'll like look at you from underneath his arm and go, "Where are those?"
They're they're just fun toys that you can play with. They're really sharp, but I don't know, maybe you can make some fun traps with those for any other intruders that come in.
Are they poisoned?
You can make them poisoned if you want. That's not a half bad idea, kid. You can make them poison if you want.
He'll snatch out a little hand and grab them carefully and start kind of moving them between his fingers. Okay. And then he's going to tuck back into the covers.
All right. Thanks for the pot. He's going to walk out.
Yeah, and you guys are able to leave. You backtrack your way through the caverns, avoiding all of the different traps, hurrying as the day is passing, and it is possible that this raiding party might return at any moment. You return to the sleeping quarters where you were able to retrieve this pot that is emblazoned again with this mark from the pile of honey and begin the trek home.
Hey, so everyone,
Yo.
we're just gonna keep this, right?
No. Why would we?
Well, there's more in here than they offered.
They might give us some of it.
Yeah, I kind of want my money.
We didn't settle on an exact price. It was give me this stuff and we'll talk about it. So like,
But this stuff is probably worth more.
maybe we make a good connection with Hilda and her family and have more jobs. And maybe they'll give us some of the stuff.
Or we don't and not have to work again.
Just lead on. I'm not gonna.
You journey back through the storm, the snow and the ice. You reflect that it's probably going to take that orc raiding party a lot longer than they anticipated to make it home. And that Kevin's probably going to be holed up in there for a long while by himself. You eventually reach Hilda's cottage. Her front yard is now covered with snow. And you go up to the door and knock. And she answers the door. "Oh, it's you. I thought for sure that you had been eaten. Did you get my stuff?"
There was an Etten that wanted to eaten us. That was bad. Yeah.
Oh, that was a good pun. I like that one. I'm gonna steal it.
Please do and refine it the best that you can. Anyway, things here.
Oh, thank you. I'm surprised that it took you so long, but I appreciate you bringing me. Look at all this stuff. This is a lot more stuff than I thought it would be. Well, this is rather nice.
It seems as if some of your stuff was grouped together with some of the findings from the Orc clan that decided to make the Onion Caves their home. So we were thinking, as part of our payment, that we would be able to share some of those extra riches that we brought back. And also, I know I'm here to help with anything else in the future. Anyway, we've done the thing.
Oh, yeah, no, here, you can have, here. And she's going to just, like, take the pot from you. She'll scoop out some of the treasure, then, like, select a few of the items from the treasure chest that seem to have sentimental value to her, You can have the rest of that. I don't care about it at all.
See, Bob, what I tell you? What I tell you?
I really just needed the pot. It's this recipe that I'm working on. It requires an inordinate amount of honey.
Oh, if you said something about honey, I would have been able to bring you a lot more, but
you don't understand. Here, watch this, dear.
Okay.
And she will take the pot into the kitchen, where she will place it on the counter and say, "More honey with me," and the pot will just begin to fill with honey, just an endless fount of honey.
Well, that's a fun trick. I like that a lot. Glad we got this for you. Awesome.
Yeah, I just needed a whole bunch of honey. So thank you. You've done a really good job. And now I would appreciate it if you wouldn't, let an old woman get to her honey business, because it's business and it's mine and it's honey and it has no concern for you.
Okay.
All that we just did
Was a honey pot.
was so that you could get honey.
What do you mean all that you could do? I just asked you to go to some caves and bring me back my stuff. I don't understand it. I was very clear with the expectations going forward.
I'm gonna need you to shut the fuck up for a second.
Excuse me? Language, young man.
We risked our lives. Some of us went through holes that we didn't know we could fit through.
That sounds...
Okay, Bob.
That-
Yep.
That sounds... I mean, you're an adventurer, aren't you? I thought you were supposed to take fear by the balls and all of that.
Because you wanted honey.
No, I needed this. I needed inordinate amounts. I needed this. I needed this specific honey. Yes.
What
And
is
as
it?
I mentioned-
No, what is it about this honey? I'm gonna need you to answer this.
It seems like an endless supply. Like, what are you complaining about? That's an amazing thing.
Who needs
never
an
have to go
endless
get honey
supply
ever
of
again.
honey?
Well, I do because I'm trying to beat out that bitch Karen in the fair, and if I'm going to do it, I'm going to need a lot of honey.
This is about a fucking fair?
Well, yes, I needed. Listen, I don't have to explain myself to you now. Take the things and be gone.
Is
Okay,
this
but
the same harvest fair in which there's like a honeycomb, like contest to make the best honeycomb treats? And fucking Karen from the next town over always wins.
Oh my god, yes, you understand.
I know. I go
have to
every year.
Yes, well, then you will know that I will be the winner of this year because fuck that bitch.
Now
For
you
real.
have an extreme amount of honey in which you can practice all of your tasty treats. I'm amazed.
Exactly.
I
It's
back
my
this
family.
100%.
My family owned that. We owned it. We ran it. It was a dynasty of ours. And then we were run out from our homes. And of course, they grabbed the family pictures and all the important documents, but they left behind the honeypot. So our family has fallen into ruin, into decay. And I, now in my elderly age, have one wish. And that is to reignite the pride in the Twilight Forge name.
Well,
by
that's
beating Karen
wonderful.
at this.
Yes. This is a worthy endeavor.
Thank you. I knew you would
Gentlemen,
understand.
if you would
so-
understand the plight in which dear Hilda here has been under within the last, I don't know, several years with it. I am just so proud of you. This is great.
Thank
So
you.
you're
Thank you.
proud
An
of
apprentice.
an old woman letting adventurers kill someone so she can win in a fair?
I see nothing wrong with this.
I think that's very judgmental of you, Dave, to make such a bold statement.
So what you're saying
Not
is,
everyone
okay,
has not everyone's goals are as lofty as maybe yours, but it doesn't mean they're unimportant, Dave.
So you're saying that I can kill you so I can win at the fair?
Well, I wouldn't recommend that. I didn't kill anybody, and I didn't even resorted to violence, and I don't appreciate it.
You hired us, knowing what was in the cave. Just
What do you mean? Yes, I knew that my pot was in the cave. What do you mean? I'm confused. What is this?
Lucifer, how are you at baking?
I'm good.
Decent. I just want my money though.
What do you have it? So I don't understand.
Shut the fuck up. Dust,
not the money.
Dust, how are you at baking? Are you decent? Can you cook?
I mean, I feel like I'm fairly decent here. I'm about to offer my apprentice services to dear Hilda here, because I feel so rallied behind the spirit of the Twilight Forge name that we must make this a thing again. We have to
must bring the name to glory once more.
Absolutely.
Ladies and gentlemen, viewers, we all know this role.
Did you make it?
What would you say if we just took the pot back?
I can cook.
I'm sorry, you're gonna rob this little lady?
That bitch just sent us to our death to retrieve a pot to win a contest.
No.
I'm not here to steal from
How
her.
far
I'm
away
here
is she?
to support her.
Are you telling her, like, are you telling, because all you've communicated to her is, like, you sent us to our deaths, and she's like, no, like, she's just responding.
No, I get that. I get that.
You
So
get a pot.
this is kind of one of those, like, it's that scene where someone has just had enough and, like, stops talking and is like, nope, and just goes over to pick up the pot and take it out the front door.
And where are you going? That's mine. That's mine. You can't be taking it. Fine, just keep it. No, you must bring that back. Excuse me, young man. I will call for the guards.
Yep.
And you'll be accosted. No, there are. There absolutely are. Their names are John and Gerald, and they are my. They help with my plumbing sometimes.
Hidden step. I'm invisible.
Okay.
Well,
Carrying a pot. Just a floating pot.
Bob, I still see the pot.
Bob flees the residents with this pot in hand. Hilda is distraught, calling out into the street. Where are you going? Where are you going? Not my honey pot.
I'm following the honey pot.
Dave follows the honey pot.
It only lasts for 6 seconds. It's hidden step. It's only 6 seconds.
Okay. Dust, Lucy,
I'm gonna look out the door and cast Hold Person on Bob. You can stop that. Like, that's not yours. That's not yours.
I'll walk past Bob and grab the honey pot and keep going.
what is Hold Person? Is it a DC? What wisdom thing?
Oh God, I don't know. Hey God, let me find it. Hey God.
Please tell me it's wisdom, because I definitely pumped wisdom.
Hold Person. It is wisdom.
It's literally my highest stat. Son of a bitch, 9.
Ha!
Cool.
The pot stays still. However, I did hear that Dave
I'm the
took
one
the
that
pot
can
and kept
cook.
going.
I got my utensils, so Bob said something about cooking, so we're gonna go win the fair now.
Okay. Dave grabs the pot and absconds down the street. Lucifer, is there anything that you would like to do?
I love that Lucifer has not taken part in any of this. The one person you think to be so corrupt.
He's got his money.
I mean, you should say that, because I'm gonna turn to Hilda, whatever. I'm just gonna be like, for the right price, I can track him down and get that pot back.
We're gonna pan out as the honeypot bandits leave, fleeing through the streets of this small town. A quest is set forth, but each of you has a story. Having laid low an 8-year-old child and his hideous cousin, you certainly must feel good about yourselves. You're able to, return and then steal the treasure. But in the retelling of this story, you probably all agree to change some of the details to say you defeated an Etten and the son of an orc war chief. In the caverns, in the mountains, a small boy, Kevin Orkin, cries himself to sleep. He enthusiastically calls out as he drifts into that sleep, I don't want to see any of them ever again for the rest of my whole life. Later, echoing through the mountains a few days, there is no one to hear it, but there's a deep, angry howl from inside the cave, followed by a male voice screaming, "Kevin! Why is the war hearth fire not burning anymore?" And the sound echoes off of the mountains into nothing. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session. Thank you, everybody, for coming out. We played Alone Time from the Rolled and Told Adventure Volume 2. It was written by Kat Kruger and illustrated by Amelia Allure. It is phenomenal and super duper fun. I'm going to send you guys, or I guess I can show you how cool this map is really quick. The Onion Caverns. Like, look at that. I don't know.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
so
Really
cute.
cool.
Holy shit.
What?
It's amazing. There's a bunch more in here, and I would love for us to be able to play them. It was fitting for the holiday season. I was very pleased to see that.